Hello, Philadelphia! I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday to all across the Delaware Valley. This is the Anthony Gargano Show presented by TrueMark Financial Credit Union. TrueMark.com/PHLY for the credit union difference. All right. So the natives are restless. It was not a good night last night at the yard. A lot of grousing going on, a lot of angst, early April angst. I mean, today's the 15th, middle of the month of April. And we could see that we're on edge as a fan base, completely on edge. The amount of grousing this early is interesting to me. I think it's, I don't like the idea that, I don't think it goes with baseball. I don't think it's the right mentality, but that's how we do it, right? Like we look at it through the prism of football and, you know, we live game by game, which can be torturous. I think we're in the middle of that right now. I look at it and it's so early, and I know there's some real issues, like the outfield has issues, and we've chronicled them, right? Like, but outside of, I think Topper going after, outside of Topper freaking out on the JT called third strike last night, and he should have, right? Like, you got to go back and you got to get your players back there. I think he realizes that. I didn't talk to him, but I got to believe that he should have, that he knows that, you know, probably that was the time to go out because, it was a bad call. It's a shame, too. That was a big turning point in the game. JT yanks one just foul and then gets called out on that horrible, horrible pitch. I mean, that was a bad miss. But other than that, like, I don't understand all the Rob Thomson hate going on. They're a little bit flawed with their lineup. It's going to take some time for them to start hitting. At some point, they'll overcome it. I mean, at some point, you're going to have to go address the outfield and address the right-handed bat. We've talked about it. But I don't think right now is, you know, come to Jesus time. Like, there's already a lot of talk about Rob Thomson compared to Joe Girardi, and do you start making a change? I'm hearing this all the time. Like, no, you don't do that. All right, let it be. You got to let it be. You got to have patience. It's antithetical to baseball. Rash decisions. They're 9-7. All right, like at some point they're going to hit. They have great starting pitching. Like, you watch, they're going to go out. They're going to win tonight. And Luzardo's going to pitch well. And, you know, that's how it's going to be. They're going to have days where they frustrate you. Marsh is an issue. Bohm's an issue. We've talked about it. Yes. But I don't think it's, you know, fire the manager time. And I'm hearing it like the groundswell begin. I've done this a long time, and I've heard these murmurs that become louder and louder. And it's way too loud for the middle of April. VG, you were down there.
I was down there.
You heard the murmurs.
People are not happy.
No,
people are miserable. You would think they were 1-3 and haven't had a winning record in like 6 years. People are
Yeah, you got to explain the mentality.
And it was BOGO night. Everyone's in a good mood. Hot dogs going out everywhere. Everyone's loaded up.
You got to explain the mentality. Like, I know it's Philadelphia. It's us.
I got to explain it. I don't know. People are angry, my friend, like an old man trying to return
soup at the deli. Now, it's too early for this.
Yeah, obviously it is. But I will say,
like my man Fit Dad CEO.
Oh, Fit Dad CEO. What was that tweet? I had to take a screenshot of that
tweet.
Yeah, let's run it back. Rolls his eyes. Great job, Phils. What? Come on, Fit Dad.
Listen, if you tell me that Kepler was not the right move because you had uncertainty in center field, especially with Marsh, all right, like forget the splits. You know, I can see that. Like that's valid. You know, they definitely need some help in the outfield, without a doubt. But does that mean they're done?
They're not done. But I will say, our man Tyler's working with us today. He raised a question, what could they have done differently? And that got me thinking, and I am a little irritated.
What are you irritated by?
Dombrowski's not dumb. He's a star hunter. I feel like they're putting a little cheap clamps on right now. And I think that he was given a directive.
You go to what, Santander?
No.
Like
all right,
who do you have gone?
There's 2 points to this story. One is I came across a chart that broke down how much revenue the teams generate and what percentage of their payroll
goes to the right.
Yeah. So the Phillies payroll takes up 67% of their revenue. Dodgers are 90%. Dodgers are 73%. Mets are 90%.
Okay, so who's the player you wanted?
So I broke it down. Kepler's getting 10 mil.
Right.
22 Teoscar Hernandez. You throw 26 his way, 27. You're talking about $15 million difference. And this is after you and I looked at their prospects. They have no right-hitting outfielders coming for 2 or 3 years.
I love Teoscar. I don't know. Again, we talked about it with, was it Jimmy Stagg? Somebody. We talked about Teoscar. And it was like, well, he was going to the Dodgers.
He was, but I mean, if you overspend for him and knowing what we got, we have nothing coming out from the right hand in the outfield. Yeah. So 3 years at him, and he's been going up in home runs his last couple of years.
I mean, I thought all along that the plan was to address it at the deadline.
Right. But
if he doesn't address it, then that's a huge problem, right? Because the lineup, and I'll concede this, that the lineup is out of whack. It's out of balance.
And Dombrowski's too smart. He knows that.
Yeah. I felt like it was, hey, let's see how this goes. Let's see what Marsh does. Let's see what Bone does. And if, come July, if it's an issue, we'll make the move.
Yeah, but
and there's a lot you could do, right? Like you could go get a first baseman, put Bryce back in the outfield. Like I think that was a bigger issue. Now you tell me, well, they could have got Alonso and moved Bryce to the outfield in the beginning. You had to give Marsh and Bohm a chance.
I'm all about giving Bohm a chance. The Marsh, I don't know if you had to. I don't feel like Dombrowski on his own free will would go in with this center field position again. He knows what Rojas. He knows what he's got with Marsh and Rojas.
Here's the other thing. How much you want to spend?
Clentex screwed up this farm system for a while, so you got to spend for that.
I know. I mean, but
and if you're only spending,
I can't kill them.
If you're only spending 67% of your revenue, you're pocketing some change.
Yeah, but I can't kill them for the plan going into July. Again,
but now you're gonna have to give up prospects and compete with other people for that bat in July, when you could have just threw money at Teoscar. And I don't like this Hoffman. Hoffman is on fire right now. And they're saving $500,000 with Romano instead of Hoffman. I know Hoffman gets $12 million the next 2 years, but my man is like, he's got a 0.6 whip.
Dude, and listen, he was a big deal last year. I think they thought that, hey, there could be a come down to earth piece with him.
I also think we were sold the story where he wanted to start. Was that where we sold that story? He's not starting in Toronto.
No.
I mean, and he looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
You see him, he blew a kiss at the Orioles.
Yeah.
Because they signed him and said took it back as a physical. Yeah. He closed them out, saved and blew the bench a little kiss.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, listen.
That makes no sense.
Listen, it's all fair to look at, and I'm not saying it's not fair. It's all fair to look at. But I understand the plan, and until the plan is faulty, like until you go, well, you want to wait till July, and now there's no right-handed bats to get, or you can't get one.
Right.
Then to me, then it's warranted to get angry.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just.
I mean, you wound up getting Luzardo, right? Like Luzardo was
a great move.
Was
ridiculous,
right? You know, the real problem which you address, and I agree with you, is the farm system. Like the farm system, it's not generating. I brought up the gym yesterday. When was the last right-handed bat, outfield bat, power bat that you got? That you were able to mine in your farm system.
Was it supposed to be the mixer? Mickey? Was he right-handed, Moniak?
No,
he's left. Another lefty. So I don't know. Tyler giving us a note. The Phils are $5 million short of the luxury threshold. I think that weighed on them.
I agree. I don't disagree.
That irritates me.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
You know, I don't disagree that they wanted to stay out of that threshold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I'm a little irritated with that.
But again, I had no problem waiting until July because it's not like this team's going to be out of it, right? Like it makes sense to wait till July to see what you can get.
I know.
And also, like you need.
But I mean, I feel like we knew what we were getting.
Yeah, but you didn't know that Bohm.
No, Bohm. I'm talking about the center field position with the
Bohm.
Rojas with the Rojas. And
I was
Marsh.
never a big Marsh guy. So,
and you're not a Rojas guy. Me neither.
No,
yeah.
I'm not a Rojas guy. I was never a big Marsh guy. So I wanted another outfield. The only problem is center field is another issue. Mm-hmm. Like what? There's not a lot of center fielders out there.
There's not. But
like, who was the guy in center that, we talk about corner guys with Teoscar.
But I'm way better off with Rojas in center with Teoscar in the outfield.
Yeah.
That's doable.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Instead of Kepler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt like we were at Dollar General
Kepler
shopping.
Thing reminds me of watch this move. Almost getting cute.
Yeah, like a reclamation.
Like you are, because listen, he's a good ball player. And if they didn't have 17,000 left-handed hitters,
right,
I would be interested in
Absolutely.
it. And splits are splits. But come on, man. You know that there's a balance thing.
Yeah.
No matter how well he hits left-handed pitching.
I know. I gotta say those splits to convince myself that it's an okay move.
But I mean, again, I was shocked. Like we talked about it when the move happened. Like, wow, really? Kepler, you're going with a left-handed bat? And again, I like Kepler. I followed him in Minnesota. I just don't know. Again,
well, Kepler to me should have been it's like a Whit Merrifield move. I mean, you bring him in. If he was your fourth outfielder, you're great. You're happy about it. $8 million, 10. What's he making? $10 million.
Yeah, the problem is center. The problem is center field.
It is, but I feel like if you had 25 dingers coming from the other corner, you can live with Rojas or Marsh platoon. Because then you only got one guy striking out every time instead of two guys striking out every time.
Yeah. But you still have to fix center field. That's another giant hole. And I don't know, Crawford, he's another left-handed hitter.
I mean, if they save up or we get through this with a little cheapness and they go crazy for Kyle Tucker, but he's a left-handed bat as well, right?
Why would the Cubs get rid of Kyle Tucker?
I don't know. He's a free agent.
Nah.
It's not.
He's off to a great start.
Yeah, I know, he's ridiculous.
The Cubs actually are good.
I know.
You're not trading Kyle Tucker.
No, I'm not saying the trade deadline. I'm saying the offseason. I don't think they're going to get the center fielder of the next couple of years at the offseason.
I need a bat before July. Like at some point, come July, I need a bat. I need a right-handed bat. I don't know who that is.
I don't want Randy Rubart, Lewis Roberts. I mean, I think he's hitting 120 right now this year.
Wow, it's slow.
It's not like he lit it up last year either.
No, I know. He's a pretty good ball player. Which my man Eddie says, JT is more washed than hotel sheets at the plate, and Marsh is more unwashed than.
And that's the thing, JT
than SEPTA floors and all.
JT is kind of washed, and I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have to re-sign him. There's no catchers out there. They don't have anyone ready.
No.
Logan O'Hoppe would be ready, but now we have Marsh instead of him.
The shame is that JT hit that thing went foul. Oh man,
it was wild because I'm on the first baseline, my seats, and when it came off the bat, it didn't even look close, and then it lands like 3 seats foul. It was way closer than it looked in the ballpark.
McCarthy thought it was out.
Did he?
Tommy thought it was gone. You know, and it looked on television, it looked like it had a real shot at staying fair. Like, I thought it was fair off the – I thought, wow, this could be close.
That's what interesting.
And I was thinking more it was going to be a home run.
Oh, how interesting. Yeah. I didn't think it had a chance. And I was like, oh, man, it was close.
Yeah, it's all angles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all angles. But it goes back to now Topper.
Third call.
After the called third strike, that's where Topper's got to come out.
Yeah, and I don't know. I've never sat in a dugout. Is that a perspective? Can you see that it's that outside if it's on your side of the plate? It's not like it's high or low. It's a little wide. So maybe he didn't know how egregious it was. That's irrelevant
because you see JT react like that.
Yeah.
That's where you got to go. You got to go out there. Because JT doesn't react like that.
Yeah, and when I was sitting in the ballpark, I didn't think of it. And then I saw Twitter blowing up. Everyone's got pictures of Topper calling him a robot standing there.
Well, I was surprised that he didn't. I mean, I was watching it live going, wow, he didn't come out. Camera went to him and he didn't come out.
There.
Yeah, and I was surprised at that. But here's the overriding thing. April 15th is not a time like Here's what I brought this up to. I don't know. I guess it was Stakes or somebody over the last couple of days with you, where I said I'm worried about how we're approaching this year. Like it's like a cumulative effect of the last couple of seasons.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't know that this team could take it.
It's compounding angst instead of interest, dude.
Right. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know that this team could take that. I think this team's better off. They almost feel better off as an underdog.
I know, and I hate we always have to be this underdog, dog. I love dogs. The favorite creature in the world.
I know.
I'm kind of tired of hearing it.
Well, they should be. Here's the thing. They tried to go at it with more of a business-like approach, but it really hasn't translated.
All right, let's get back to throwing water on them. Have some fun.
Go have fun out there. I don't care. Like, enjoy it.
Need Stubbs back, dude.
The vibes guy.
I need to bring him up for some vibes.
Yeah, but again, 9-7.
Yes.
With that kind of pitching staff.
I feel fine. I'm not worried. They'll make the playoffs and make a run. It's just.
And you're going to have to tweak. But that's my point is, and I know how we are. I mean, you know, I've been doing this a long time in our city. And I know how we are and we react. But it's just not healthy for anyone.
They need to.
For fans, it's not healthy for the team. Like, I'm not saying be a robot, but you know, you can't freak out.
It should be like a once daily. All Philly fans stand outside and a plane just sprays like Xanax from the sky down for us all just to chill, take the edge off, maybe relax.
What do you think? Tyler is with us in for Andrew. Tyler's doing such a great job on the Philly show.
Good morning, guys.
What do you say, buddy?
Yeah, I think the difference in like the 3,000 view approach versus the yesterday approach, I think you have every right to be frustrated with yesterday and the Cardinals series and the Braves series because it was a lot of the same stuff, right? Leaving runners in scoring position, struggling with runners in scoring position with nobody out. Second and third last night, you get a strikeout, a pop up, and a tap out. Like, so you have a right to be frustrated. I think there's no doubt about it. But I think there is value to saying, you know, I said yesterday they're 9-6 through 15. If you multiply that by 10 to get to 150 games, you're a 90-60 team. You know, I think you're putting yourself in an okay spot. I think
okay spot.
I think
you're going to win 95 games.
You know, I think people are frustrated because of, you know, how the last week has transpired, and they have a right to be. But I think that this team should figure itself out.
But obviously you have a right to be. But here's the issue. The issue is it's baseball. It's not healthy to react this way.
Oh, no. I see people on Twitter that are having full-on meltdowns, and I'm like, it's April 15th, guys. You got another 4.5 months to go.
We haven't even got to 80 degrees yet.
And they're looking to bounce Rob Thomson. Like, this isn't a Joe Girardi. I think people think, well, you know what? Come June, you could bounce the manager and go get somebody else, and it's going to be just like Joe Girardi. I don't think that's the case.
They hated Girardi. The players hated Girardi.
Exactly.
And the difference is, like, they may, you know, they're 9-7. It's not like they're 5-11. And also, too, like, they love Rob Thomson. I don't know if the response is going to be,
it's not.
Ooh, new manager, let's go.
No.
You know what I mean? So,
and this is Bryce's squad. If there's an issue with Topper, I mean, Bryce is going to say something. I mean, Bryce will let people know, like, this. We got to move on, dude.
Lest we forget the curveball machine.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's a valid point. The issue, though, again,
I have a proposal I think you'll like. Can we be done with the daily press conferences, post game, pre game? Can we do like a post conference before the series starts and after the series starts?
No.
That's all I need to do. I don't need to have these interviews every game to go over every little play and nuance. I don't. I think that contributes to our mental unwellness.
No, you have to. What do you mean?
Just
you're not going to talk about the game?
Nah, not the game. There's 162 of them. Let's talk about every third game. We'll have a conversation. Every series.
No, I'm completely on the other side of that.
What?
No, that's stupid.
Come on.
No, you can't.
I got to hear you interview Taijuan Walker. And, I mean, we know what happened. He had one band and he threw the ball away and he lost his head.
So what?
I got to hear him say stuff.
No, that's ridiculous.
Nah, I need a pre-series press moment and a post-series press
you want
moment.
less press?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
You're just looking. You're a writer sympathizer. You want to take up words with quotes. I don't need quotes. Just tell me what happened. Recap what happened. And let's talk about the series.
No, but you
need
insight
for the series as a whole. I don't need every game.
You need insight after a game.
It would really help.
What pitch? I mean, amazing.
It would really. It would set the mentality for people just to be like, just relax. We do series by series, not game by game.
In every nook of the world, you do a media session after a game.
Yeah, but there's 162. There's no other series this season. It's 162
so
times.
What?
Nah, I don't need it. It irritates me.
Then I watch
the press conferences. I get irritated.
It's stupid.
Nope.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Tell me how the series went. What were your thoughts on what went wrong? What are you going to do different this series? Perfect. All right, let's move on.
No, I gotta hate it. I hate it. That's what happens when. Never mind.
What? Tell me what happens when what?
Yeah, no. A non-journalist.
Exactly. Yeah. There's only like 12 journalists in town. Let's move on. Let's cater to the debate.
You need it. I want to hear from them. I want to hear from the participants.
How many times
I want to know what you were thinking. I want to know.
Every game I got to hear Topper say, we're making hard contact.
Oh, my God, dude. I'm so anti that in every aspect. It's like I find it offensive. As a former journalist, I find it completely offensive.
I mean, there's a lot more. You got to come on with like 300 more words now on the daily.
Listen, you're talking to somebody that barely use quotes unless they were great.
I'm not talking.
My role.
Listen, days going by for the most part. Journalists like you. I mean, you read most paper articles these days are.
My rule was you never do 2 paragraphs of quotes, and you only use the best quotes. Like I didn't sit there and transcribe, and I only use I was like, oh, this is a really good quote. I'll transcribe that one quote, and then I use my interviews to shape and I'll paraphrase and write it.
A lot of times,
because I always felt like I could write it better than they could say it.
I would agree. Yeah, I don't get that from a lot of journalists. We have our crew who are solid, but yeah, I don't know. Torch is here. Someone makes a point. Torch is probably still in town. He could probably shuffle this, shake them up in the clubhouse. I wouldn't mind him coming in for like a weekly Torch moment.
Manager, John Tortorella.
Yeah.
By the way, Flyers Columbus tonight.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a Meatskoff explosion.
Yeah.
He's going to explode tonight against Columbus.
I hope so. We could use a good
He hasn't
explosion.
exploded in a while. We need a big Meatskoff night.
He's been getting good ice.
Lots to get to today. We got a busy show. Franny Films is going to join us. Looking forward to that. We got the brain. We got legs. We got Baldy.
Nice.
So,
legs and Baldy.
Yeah. Yeah, I always love our legs and Baldy. I caught up with legs this morning.
Eat some raw meat for those segments.
Yes. All right. Let's talk about a little TrueMark.
Oh, let's do it. TrueMark's always doing good things. Not only do they help you out with good rates and treat you with great customer service, they're also looking out for your kids. So it's Financial Literacy Month, and they got something cool going on to teach your kids how to handle their money. If you're a TrueMark Financial member, you've got a fantastic opportunity to help your kids and teens learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, all with this cool and free Greenlight account. Now, Greenlight comes with this cool app, and it's not just any app. It's totally changing the game as far as teaching your kids financial stuff. They can set up savings goals in the app, learn how to track their spending, and even get their allowance all right there in the app, and you stay in control of everything. So they can't go crazy, because they could go crazy with this debit card they give out, but nah, TrueMark's got it under control. The kids can make the right purchase, their own purchases, learn how to budget money, build real world money skills, and you stay in control of everything from your phone through the app, so you get a peace of mind. They get the chance to make smart, responsible choices with their money. So if you're looking for a way to teach your kids some financial plays this financial literacy month, I can't recommend this enough. It's like training for life's biggest game. So head over to TrueMark.com/greenlight to get all the details and sign up today. And don't miss this chance to set up your kids for the most important financial success they can have.
All right, let's talk about Parks Casino and the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. All right, tonight, new game. All right, new slate. I like Luzardo over 7 strikeouts.
Whoa, 7?
To get 7 strikeouts. I think the over under 6.5.
All right, let's see.
So I'll take the over Luzardo strikeouts. The Giants strikeout, I think they're the 28th the teams with the most strikeouts.
Okay.
They hit for a lot of extra bases. Like, they're a powerful team. I like Luzardo to get to 7 tonight. You can bet it on the Bet Park Sportsbook. What is it when you find it?
Yeah.
Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. You can check it out. All the playing stuff for the NBA begins tonight. You got Flyers and Columbus. Flyers going to score 6 tonight.
I love it.
And Beach Cup. I even got my sweater on tonight. It's the end of the season. All right. Don't forget, there's always another way to win on the app, like live dealer blackjack, roulette, craps. It's right there. Baccarat. They have the hottest online slots. Peaky Blinders, Squid Games, the Rocky slots, your favorite streaming shows, your favorite movies, and some of the big ones like Cash Eruption, Cleopatra, Armadillo.
Artie the Armadillo.
They got it all on the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. New customers get up to $1,000 casino bonus back. If you're down the first 24 hours, you got to be in, it's got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right.
Trying to put together a little Flyers parlay.
Oh, yeah, a little flyer action. All right. Let's go into the film room.
Nice.
Where he's been.
They do not crave food nor drink for nourishment, for they exist solely on the glow of the all-22 monitors. They are the Leatherheads, and he is Franny Film.
Franny Films.
Franny.
We have a big event Thursday night, you and I, buddy.
Looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. JD McKillicuddy's over in Manayunk. 6 o'clock start time. We're talking draft all night. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Pints. All right.
Pints and Leatherheads.
Pints and Leatherheads.
Drafts.
Right.
Great name like
Meats.
McGillicuddy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So that's Thursday night. Everybody, I'd love for you guys to come out to Manayunk to hang with us. Franny and I are going to go deep into it. Deep into it. I'll ask, I want to start with this, and I want to go through some positions with you. Has there been something with your studies that your biggest realization, like after watching, countless hours of film, have you had some sort of epiphany on a player, on anything?
It's a good question. In terms of the film study aspect of it, I would say nothing like comes to mind right off the top of the dome, Ant. But I will say, right now I'm midway through a 7-round mock draft for all 32 teams. Going to drop on allphly.com for all diehards tomorrow morning.
7 rounds, baby. That's
7 rounds,
awesome.
all 32. With trades and everything. It's been crazy. But one thing that has stood out to me, I would say throughout doing this exercise, one element we've talked about, so this was not an epiphany here, but the top of the draft, lackluster, right? In terms of just overall top end blue chip talent, which that does not necessarily affect the Eagles. One thing that I did find though, when I got into like the middle to late second round, I feel like there's another drop again. And so I kind of wonder for the Eagles, for their sake of things, if we don't see, if maybe they stay put, at 32, or if they do a slight trade back, into the meat of round 2, I wonder if they end up trading up out of the 64 spot and getting up into the middle of round 2 again, just to make sure that they can still get some guys in that next tier of players. And so that will be something I found to be really interesting as I was going through this 7-round mock draft. I think there is another drop off there in the middle to, we'll say, like 2/3 of the way through the second round, where there's another drop and it starts to level off from a talent standpoint.
All right, so I'm going to tell you, here's what I think, that
Okay.
I think they have eyes for 2 players.
Okay.
Nolan and Green.
Yep.
Those are the 2 guys that I believe that they have their eyes on.
So let me take you through where, just because I've been working the phones over the last, we'll say, like week and a half, 2 weeks, just because when I get to this time of year after the pro day circuit is kind of, solidified, that's all done, all the hay's in the barn. Now it's information gathering and just trying to get a sense of what the range is for all these players. Right. And so, I think when you're looking at Mike Green, what makes that one tricky is the off-field accusations with him, going back to high school, going back to Virginia.
I will tell you, if I tell you that they would have eyes for him, it would have mean that he got the green light.
Exactly. And that's what's tricky, though, about it is that if the Eagles gave him the green light, are there other teams that gave him the green light? Could he go as high as 15 to Atlanta? That's the team. That's been the landing spot that everybody's been pegging him to. They've been very conservative with off-field stuff since new GM Terry Fontenot has come in. So if he gets the green light there, great, because I think he checks a lot of the boxes there. If he doesn't, then he falls. At what point does a team, try and make a move there? And so I find that to be fascinating. And then I would say Walter Nolan, it's kind of the same thing, because depending on who you talk to, some people are very, very high on him, and then others are not as high. I would say his ceiling is 18 to Cincinnati. That's a team that has done a lot of work there, on Walter Nolan, and that would be a team that I think that would probably be the high point. I thought he could go even higher than that if you asked me a month or 2 ago, but I think when you're looking at those 2 players, the range is fascinating. Honestly, it's that way with a lot of players, man. So I've got Matthew Golden, the wide receiver from Texas. He is actually falling out of my first round in this mock draft that I'm doing. He could go as high as 12. Like when I'm hearing, when I talk with Dallas people, it's like, oh yeah, it's either going to be McMillan or Golden. But that's the range. That's this draft is going to be wild. It's going to be a lot of fun next Thursday night.
Why wouldn't Dallas trade up to get Genty?
Yeah, I think when you look at them, it's been
to see it happen,
the thought of them trading up for Genty. They were so they got away from spending high assets on running back, and so they were so far on the other side of it for them to completely swing where, hey, we're going to trade up first round pick, because honestly, to get him, you're probably giving up a 2 and potentially even more. So it looks like he's going top 6. So you're going to have to get into that area. That's a big jump from 12.
It is, but it's exactly what they like. If you add Genty to that team, I go, that's not like that. Actually, the best thing they could do, I think. I hate them, so I don't want to give them any ideas. But if we're just talking from a football standpoint, I love Genty. I think Genty's the truth.
Yeah, he's an awesome player. To me, everything I've heard is that he's going top 6, and it felt like everybody's mocking them to the Raiders, and he could end up in Vegas, but I've heard some whispers that he could go elsewhere as well. I have him going elsewhere in my mock, so a little bit of tease for tomorrow's mock draft, but he's a phenomenal player, certainly one of the best players in this class.
Yeah, back to the Eagles, I think that they would trade up. I think there's more of a chance they trade up than back.
Interesting. Yeah, I think you would need to for both Green and Nolan. I think those would be guys that you probably have to make a move up for.
Yeah, I think they'll read the board, see where it's kind of going, and then I think they make a move up to get one of those 2. Because I also think that they look at either of them are such great fits for what they do, what they do and what they need, and I think they feel good about it. Otherwise, if to your point about trading back, like at that where they're sitting at, there's not a lot of I don't think what they need.
Yeah. I meant to ask you too, Ant. Last week you mentioned that they think that Mason Taylor is going to be off the board. When you said that last week when I came on, was that off the board at 32 or off the board like second round? Like what was your sense there?
That he goes in the first round.
Interesting. That's a lot of the buzz has been pointing to that. I should have followed up with you last week on that because there has been whispers that he could sneak into the we'll say like 28, 29, 30, somewhere in that range.
Yep. And that's why, and then they're not going to use that asset on a tight end. Even with Goddard, I think they like. I know they like Taylor. I love Taylor.
Yep.
But I don't think it happens. All right, let's have some fun here with a little tease and look at Franny Films' top 5 in each of the offensive. We'll start with offense and throughout between now and next Thursday and Thursday night, and we'll get through it all. But let's start off with quarterback. All right, in order, who are your top 5?
Yeah, this one is really like pretty well defined just because of the tiers that these guys get broken into. So for me, Cam Ward, clear number 1, felt that way probably midway through the fall last year after taking in some of the early Cam Ward film. And as the season went on, no reason to move off that. I think he's QB1. I do have Shedeur Sanders at QB2. I do think he's got the ability to be a solid starter with time and patience in the NFL. I do think it'll take a little bit of time to get there, but he is a guy that to me, if he's forced to play right away, I think there's going to be a lot of bumps in the road.
Yeah, I think Dart's going to go ahead of him.
It's going to be interesting, man. There's all this. I was just texting with somebody before I came on. All the Shedeur Sanders stuff right now. There's all kinds of things swirling. I think a lot of it is posturing. You get there's the late workout with the Giants that's happening this week, and the late visit out to Pittsburgh. I don't know that I'm quite buying the love from either of those two teams with Shedeur Sanders. I don't think he ends up with New Orleans. So just trying to find landing spots.
I'll tell you right off the bat, he's not going to New Orleans.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And so when I'm looking at where are the landing spots for Shedeur Sanders, obviously they look at that position. A team could always be lying in the weeds there, ready to pull the trigger. But for me, that's tough to find a landing spot there.
I couldn't take him. I'll be honest with you. I couldn't take him. He just doesn't wow me. I mean, I don't care about the posturing and the personality, all that stuff. I just look at his play and what he is. I'm trying to figure out his comp. His comp is not who you have as his comp.
Yeah, when I studied him in the fall, one player that came to mind was Geno Smith, and as I was watching him more and more, another guy that I compared it to was Baker Mayfield. I think that's like the ceiling of quarterback you're talking about, right? And
Baker's got a better arm.
Yeah, to me, like when I'm looking at them, both guys obviously had bumpy roads to start their career and have turned into solid starting quarterbacks. But more so with me, especially as I watched with Baker, Baker Mayfield, the big thing with him early on was that, he thought he was Mahomes. He thought that he was Jordan Love, like Josh Allen, that he could break the pocket and make plays outside of structure. But he's not that guy, right? Like he's not that level of athlete, that level of arm talent. And that when I look at Shedeur, like, he's an average arm talent. He's a below average athlete. Like he does not have those physical traits. I do think at his best, he's like, pocket assassin, work through pressure, like handle that pocket space. The thing is that he's developed bad habits against pressure and does not manage the pocket really well right now. And that's what reminded me of Geno Smith when Geno was coming out of West Virginia. He was a mess. When he came to the NFL, he did not handle pressure well. Now he's one of the best in the league at being able to navigate muddy pockets and do that. So I just think it'll take time for Sanders to get there.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think he throws a good deep ball, but I don't, other than that, I'm not in love with his arm. I'm just, I'm not in love. So you got Sanders, Dart 3.
No, I'm a little bit lower on Dart, man. To me, when I look at that offense, it's so like Lane Kiffin does such an outstanding job, creating space for his playmakers, really forcing defenses to defend the width of the field. So I'm a little bit lower on Dart. I have him in a cluster of quarterbacks where, you're looking at like the Riley Leonards, Quinn Ewers, Will Howards, Kyle McCords. Like to me, I've got all those guys really bunched together. So I've got the two guys that I've got ahead of that cluster are Tyler Shuck and Jalen Milroe. To me, I look at Shuck. This guy, look, he's been in college for a while. All the injuries that piled up with him. Yeah, I mean, he'll be 20. He's 25. When you're looking at him, he's 25. Pro style quarterback. To me, he just plays the position in a way. Like to me, his film is better than Shedeur's, and I actually don't think it's close.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm stunned.
Yeah,
you got Milroe 4.
I just think with his traits and what the highs were, with Jalen Miller, still a young player, high character kid. Like that is a player that I'm willing to bet
I root for the kid. He is a hard worker. He's a great kid. But boy, man, he's such a project.
We saw Anthony Richardson go
went
4
back
overall.
into the portal.
Yeah, I agree. I wish that he went back. I wish that Quinn Ewers went back. I wish those guys went back. I think that those at that position, especially, you should be soaking up every ounce of eligibility you can. But with where he is right now, there's a reason he accepted an invite to the draft, man. He's going to go higher than we think. I've got him going in the top 50 in my mock draft that's dropping tomorrow. So, and again, my personal evaluation too, because I separate where I think a guy's going to go versus what I think he's going to be. My ranking on guys has nothing to do with where I think they're going to go in the draft. But I just think with Milroe, the traits are too good for me to completely bypass, the certain downside in his game as well.
All right. And then in 5, you have the rest.
Yeah, 5. It's you could sell me on any of those guys.
You put Will Howard and Dart in the same sentence. Or Will Howard and McCoy. Will Howard to me is not a prospect.
Yeah, he is the lowest graded for me in that group. Now, basically, what happens when I do my board, it's just these guys all get kind of put into buckets, right? And so I look at those guys as they're backup quarterbacks in the NFL. This is at best, this is a number 2 quarterback in the NFL. I do think that Will Howard, and I feel the same thing with Riley Leonard, that both guys are limited passers, but they've got skill sets that stick in today's NFL as a backup quarterback.
I mean, backup. All right. Man, you sell my boy short. You sell my boy Kyle short. I hope he sticks it up your gigi, buddy.
I hope he does too.
You got kick and throw it, man. Kick and throw it. I'm telling you.
No question. No question.
This is awesome. I'm pumped up for Thursday because you and I will wrestle. I'm looking forward to it. Because I completely disagree with your board. We just started. I mean,
yes, exactly.
We got one that we agree with. Cam Ward
at the very top, right?
And listen, not that all. And after that, it really is beauty in the eye of the beholder.
No doubt.
So it's not like this thing is. I'm just surprised. I'm surprised you have Milroe. I see the traits. I love the kid. I do. I see the traits, but I don't know if they seem like they could be insurmountable. What he has to get over. And I talked to some people, listen, you may be right, and he may go in the top 50 because somebody feels like, hey, with the way he can move, with his power, and he's got a terrific arm, that you could turn him into something. But, man, you got a long ways to go. Long way. You watched that bowl game against Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching him against Georgia, and he lit that defense up. It was one of the best games of any quarterback this year. And then I think it was the following week, he goes to Vanderbilt, and it was a stinker. Actually, the highs and lows.
No, the Georgia game was the high point of the year.
Yeah, but if you have that high point and then just literally like days later to have that low point against Vandy, that's to me a really good microcosm of what you're getting there with Milroe.
But listen, Fred, need a little good appetizer for Thursday night. I cannot wait, buddy. We're gonna have some fun.
Yes, it'll be a lot of fun. Everybody, make sure you come out and join us out in Manayunk, 6:00. I don't even know when we're gonna wrap that up, but it's gonna be a lot of fun on Thursday.
No, I can't wait to see you, buddy. You're the best. Love you, pal.
All right, Ant.
See you
guys.
Franny Films checking in. Franny. We're gonna have a geek out session Thursday night.
I know it's gonna be intense. People better be ready.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it's funny, man. He and I disagree on the quarterbacks.
I mean, honestly, you got McCord number 1 over Cam.
No. I love the kid. So part of it's my, but actually, I think the kid's good.
No, I know. I'm just joshing with you.
No, I know, but I don't like Sanders, and
it doesn't sound from me.
I don't want to go near. And listen, Milroe, I would have interest as a stash to work with, but
I don't know much about these players. I've seen people say
I'm not in love with Shuck.
Milroe going to Pittsburgh. I've seen some people say to stash. I mean, that's okay for like a year or two. Maybe.
Yeah, he needs 2 years of watching.
But I got to say, I don't hear anyone excited about Sanders.
No.
I'm like a peripheral guy with this draft stuff. It's nothing. No one's excited.
I'm not.
A hype machine.
I mean, listen,
When someone
I
tells
just
me,
don't see.
someone's like his ceiling's Andy Dalton. To me, I'm just like, Baldy's like, well, Andy Dalton played a while. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want that out of a first round quarterback, Andy Dalton.
No, I mean, again, now he works hard.
Mhm.
I just have to see he's limited as a thrower, and he's not a great athlete.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if he
He
had
doesn't
a,
have his
a
dad's
better
speed?
arm, no. If he had a better arm, I would like he could throw a deep ball, but the intermediate stuff, he just doesn't. There's no zip on it, man. There's no touch, no zip.
Let's get him to the Giants then. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, I agree. All right, time now for the brain.
Brain. The brain Feinberg.
La Brain. Good morning, La Brain.
Good morning, my friend. How are you guys today?
We're good.
Like
Just
the
geek
Phillies fan,
it out for the draft, buddy.
Oh, Brad's a guy who leaves the the hologram sticker under his brim on his hat.
No,
Only you
no,
would
no,
notice that.
no, it's not that. No,
What is it?
It's that. No, I don't do that actually.
What is that?
But
sticker?
no, it's like I'm going the wrong way. It's like a plastic thing. If you could see it, it's like a plastic thing.
What's it for?
I don't know. I got it when I was in Lake Tahoe, or I didn't get it. Victoria got it for me.
Tahoe
It's-
hat.
Yeah,
it's a
there's
hat.
another resort hat.
Hat.
Another resort hat.
It's a resort
He
hat.
gets these free rooms every hit he does. He's
What
got
do they
these
do? They give you
resort
hats
on.
in your palatial in your
Well, no.
suites?
This one sadly had to pay for this one, but
Oh.
they should give them to me. You're right. They should.
You spent 50 G's for the weekend. Here's a hat.
Really? Not for nothing.
Exactly. Your free hat for your
I would
50.
think. Here's the thing. I would think you would step up your hat game. Like I could see you with a bunch of college
Yes.
college hats, or
This is
or baseball hats. Like I could see you rocking
Yeah, I
like
know.
a Guardians hat, or Mariners.
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny whenever I go to like a new stadium or whatever, I always do look for something. Like I still am like
Shotsky.
a kid that way. Like I love seeing like a good hat if I can find one. What I should really do? I should probably go to like the Hall of Fame and like just have every hat there and could just have a choice of like 1,000 hats and just spend like a few hours looking.
Yeah, this is the
That's what I
flaw in Brad.
Not to look at the
Brad's a great
memorabilia.
guy, but his hat game is weak.
Yeah.
It's
You
disappointing.
know what I would want? I would do colleges.
Colleges?
I would go I like to go hoodies. I wish I did.
I like college hoodies.
I would do the hoodies.
Yeah, I like hoodies.
I have
Like different
those I
college
love.
hoodies, like Rocket,
Those I love.
Tennessee,
Yeah.
a Texas.
Yeah, I agree.
But like Brady
You know,
with like
I agree.
defunct teams, like an Expos hat, a Hartford Whalers hat.
Oh yeah.
I have a Hartford Whalers hat. I got one.
Oh,
I
you
just gotta
did?
find it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I got one, man. I've worn it on the air a few times.
Yeah,
I got one.
yeah. That's cool.
It's a
Just-
blue. Yeah, I got that at the Hockey Hall of Fame. Ironically enough, I went Hartford
I'll
Whalers.
tell you, the underrated, like hockey gear is underrated.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it's
agree.
good stuff.
My cousin had when we were growing up, he had a Detroit Red Wings jersey. It was like that big red
Yeah.
wing is cool, man.
I love those jerseys. I like the
Yeah.
old. I like the maple
Yeah,
leaf
we were-
blue.
yeah.
It's a strong one.
Like the sweaters, the Blackhawks. like that's
Good
good
stuff.
stuff. I would wear those hoodies.
Yeah. All right, we'll work on it.
No, I mean just saying.
Find
Like
some
I did,
hoodies.
I like a hockey hoodie.
I'm with you.
I'm all
I'm lacking-
all
I'm
puffed
lacking a
up,
hockey.
man. I gotta tell you, I can't wait for the NHL playoffs.
Oh yeah, you gonna pick a squad?
It's gonna be great.
I'm not gonna pick a squad. I'm just gonna enjoy them.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not like you with the Edmonton.
I'll be shaking the dust off the Edmonton hat once the season.
You're gonna
ends.
go Edmonton again?
Yeah.
You're gonna go to the oil?
I want
I
Connor.
may have to go
I want
Lance
Edmonton
then.
and Connor to
If
win.
you go Edmonton, I'll go Lance.
Oh, perfect.
And McKinnon
Perfect. All right.
and McCarr.
Well, but that's what's
Cale
great about
McCarr.
Everyone can win in hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every team can win in hockey. I think all 16. All 16 have a chance. That's what's cool about that sport is it's such a grind to win that sport. It's like they say it's the hardest championship to win, and I actually agree with that. I don't think that's like hyperbole. It's just so hard because every game is so difficult. As opposed to in the NBA, you can.
I
You know,
will
Boston
say this
plays
about this year, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to the West. The Western Conference playoffs are going to be fun.
They're the best.
Because I like the Clippers. And here's a little spoiler, because I talked to Legs this morning, and I asked
bet the
about the
Clippers.
Clippers because I like the Clippers a lot. And he's like,
I bet him
dude,
at 17-1 2 days ago to reach the finals.
dude, that's a great bet. Great bet. Legs likes that bet
They're
too.
my second choice. They're my second choice. I'd favor OKC, then I put them second, Lakers third.
Agree. That's you know what? You know who agrees with you? Legs. Because he has the Lakers up there. I don't know that the Lakers.
Look at their draw, Anthony. Did you see their bracket? They got
Yeah.
the best bracket of anyone.
Yeah, they
Because
do.
playing Houston in round 2, actually, Houston's probably not going to even win round 1. But to me,
Golden
that's
State's-
the part
Golden
of the
State's
draw
gonna
I'd
beat
want to
them.
be in. Right. That's the part of the draw I'd want to be in. And I think the Lakers are better than Golden State personally. But I think I'd much rather be in there and avoid OKC. I'd rather have Denver/Clippers winner versus OKC. Two of those 3 teams be eliminated and then just face that in the conference finals as opposed to having to play OKC potentially in round 2. So I do like from that aspect, I think the Lakers got a good draw. I really do believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right about that.
So I'm going anyone but the Clippers. Is that what we do? We can't have Harden and Simmons get
Stop
that.
it.
I know that would be ugly.
That can't happen.
That would be
Who
ugly.
would you rather? Would you rather Harden and Simmons get there or the Lakers?
I can't do the Lakers. I hate the Lakers.
Well, wait, let me ask you a question. Wait, you guys, let me ask you a question. I always try to be fair and objective. Wait, let's serious. All kidding aside, no BS. You hate James Harden that much?
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't do anything for us. Though.
I mean, why
That
are
was
you
tremendous.
incredulous?
Why would we like him?
Here's the thing. Bleep the beard.
I didn't say like. I didn't say like.
Dude,
I didn't
here's
say
the
like.
thing. It's game
Mr. Perry Mason
6.
did not say like.
It's game 6. They're going to beat Boston.
I was in that game. They were up by 2 points with the ball with 4 minutes to go.
And
that was a weird series. He played 7 games. 5 were as bad as
he had 2
bad
great
gets,
games. He had the one
and
great
2
game.
were
He
his-
went bananas.
Right.
Yeah.
He played 2 games that were the best 2 games of his career.
Yes.
But
yes.
I mean, dude, listen.
And then he
I
quit
guess
in
I
game
just don't-
7. Like, that's what listen, he's a great ball player, Hall of Famer, the whole thing. But he's such a quitter. Like, I've seen him quit. Like, you remember the Miami, when he first got here, that Miami series? He quit in that series.
Did they lose?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's when Embiid was hurt, and they were down 2-0.
He
They
broke his
tied it up in
face,
2-2,
came back.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. And then Miami ended up beating Boston. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, you're right. I guess for me, I don't know. Again, how many years did he play here? 3?
I mean,
2?
He played 2 years, 2.5.
2 years. I don't know. I mean, I didn't like him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not rooting for him.
My
don't
beef with him is more.
I get the
off
Ben Simmons.
It's my beef. I don't, listen. I don't hate the guy, but
No, I know. It's
I'm not going to root. I'm not going to root for him. I mean, why do I want to see him win?
Yeah. No, I'm not rooting for him to win. I'm not rooting for him. I'm
going to root
But I guess
anybody
I
against.
just-
I'd rather see Luka. I like Luka, so I'd rather see Luka.
I like, yeah.
As much as I hate the Lakers, I'd probably Luka.
What about
would make me root for him.
OKC?
I love OKC.
Okay.
I would root OKC. I'd root. I mean, listen, if Steph went wild,
Yeah.
I would love. I like to see that.
Do you like Jimmy?
I love Ant-Man. I'm a huge Anthony Edwards fan.
I like him. Do you like Jimmy Butler?
Not really.
Or that stuff he's pulled? Like, to me,
I mean,
he doesn't
listen,
deserve it.
he's just like, he's tiresome. I don't
He's
dislike
tiresome.
him, but he wears
Good
me
adjective.
out.
It's a good word for tiresome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. I don't want Golden State. I don't know. I'm not rooting for them.
The only thing is, he's unbelievable. He's awesome. Like, if he had one more
Yeah,
run,
he's
God
phenomenal.
bless him.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
He is in what, the last 20 years, a top top 5 player. I mean, he's incredible. He's absolutely, and he's a credit to the game. He's never done anything bad.
Yeah, he's the great. He's awesome. I love Steph Curry.
Who was more of a cultural icon, him or Iverson?
Well, AI was global. I mean, Steph's global, but AI was.
I think those are two guys who kind of changed. Steph in a different way.
Yeah, Steph changes the game. Right.
Yeah. But those are two guys to me that
AI was like a rock star.
Mm-hmm.
He really was. No, he was my favorite player. So I love Iverson.
We're on ABC.
But
anyone but Clippers.
Anyone but Clippers?
I think they're good though, dude. I think they're good.
They are good. What are they? I think they're like 20-3 or 21-3 the last 24.
Well, it's Kawhi.
I think they're, by the way, wrong side favored in that series. And it's been bet down heavily. Wrong side's favored. They favored Denver, which is ridiculous to me. I flat out made the Clippers favorite. It opened at like $1.60.
That's such a bad matchup for Denver. Such a bad matchup.
I like the Clippers to win for sure. I actually
Zubac is underrated. First of all, Kawhi's
been incredible.
Kawhi's a great ball player, right? And Zubac is an underrated fourth option.
Ow. Too. Zubac, the last 6 weeks or so, is averaging like 20 and 14. He's been better than underrated. He's been like
no, but he's underrated.
Out,
like people don't look at Zubac the way he's a terrific ball player.
Yeah. They have a really good team. Yeah. They have a really good team. And it's interesting. I give that team a lot of credit. You know, you lose Paul George. I'm the first one. I always admit when I'm wrong. When they lost Paul George, I'm like, Steve Ballmer, you may be the richest man on earth or one of them, but man, good luck with your basketball team this year. They were like, he's overpaid. We don't want to pay him. It's going to hurt us, set us back. We'll be fine without him. And I didn't see it. I didn't see the vision. You know, you got to listen. Right now, who's having the last laugh? Them or the Sixers? It's not even an opinion, right?
So is Kawhi healthy?
Yeah.
And he's good?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, VG.
He looks great.
This is the healthiest he's been in like forever. Which maybe if everyone's looking for Embiid, maybe the Kawhi thing, maybe it's the one thing is sorry. If Kawhi can get healthy.
Let's get those doctors out here.
Here's the thing about Kawhi. He may be one of the greatest players under the radar. Would you forget about
Oh my God.
Right? Because you know, the
most underrated great player of all time.
He's mercurial, right?
I forget what that means. What is that?
He's weird. He's
moody, up and down.
He's weird,
Okay.
And he's great. He's just a great ball
player. He may be the most underrated great player in the history of the league because everyone talks about him like, yeah, he's amazing, he's great, but he's never, and I mean ever, listed as one of the best players.
Yeah,
no one lists him.
Yeah,
and but then when you measure him,
he does his own thing. He's strange. Yeah,
but he's if you look at his career, I think he has like the highest winning percentage in the playoffs. He's just I mean, every place he's been. He's dominated at levels where you'd say he was right there with LeBron.
He's a great scorer. He can rebound. He can pass. And he's a great defender.
He doesn't have a weakness. He's one of the few players in the NBA. If you're like, okay, Doobie Brown's breaking it down. Here are his weaknesses. He's going to be a mute.
I agree.
He doesn't have any. He does everything well in the end. He does every aspect well. I remember that series, guys, with the Toronto when they beat us. Rooting against him was it was torture. Because he's just so good. He doesn't do he's like a perfect player. Doesn't do anything wrong. And it was just he's incredible. As you said, mercurial, another good adjective by you. Get that writing skills. That's why I need to pick up on some of that stuff. But he's a different kind of cat. But he is absolutely one of the all-time greats. And this team, again, if I'm OKC, Anthony VG, that's the team I'm going to the heavens. I'm like, come on, Denver, beat this team. Beat this team. Yeah, you may be tough with Joker, but there's something about the Clippers this year. I feel like they have a good mojo, a good vibe, where it's a little different this year for them.
All right.
Just my 2 cents.
I'm completely with you. Let's get to our contest. How'd we do yesterday?
Horrible. I struggle with baseball. I'm telling you right now, but we're gonna get it. We're gonna turn it around. I'm turning it around.
What are you now?
Turning the ship around.
10.
Okay.
Big over last night. Bryce, he hit that ball hard too. Couldn't get that second base out of him. Skeens came up short with 6. And
I had Skeens over 6.5. VG, he had
6
in the 5th inning. Had 6 in the 5th. I needed one more to get 7. I had the bet. He couldn't get one in his last 1 2/3 innings. Tough break. He should have got.
How'd you do last night?
Atrocious. 1 and 3.
Sweet.
No excuses.
Sweet.
All
right. I'm still like,
What are you now?
not taking
What's that bring you to?
6 and 8. 6 and 8, which is horrible. But again, I will get
You're in
back.
striking
I'm not worried.
distance.
And I got 4
I can
things
still
for
see
tonight.
you in my scope. You're
So you
striking
You can
distance.
still see me. I'm not.
games than
You're
you.
not in the
Like,
rearview
he
mirror.
plays 4 a day.
Yeah.
I don't have the data he's got. I got to manually crunch this stuff.
I think I got 4 good things tonight. Anything less than 3 and 1, I'm going to be furious.
All right. Let's roll with it.
I'm going to take honors today, but break both our lucks up. All right, because
Go for it.
we gave it to you the
he's
last
got
few
something he
times.
likes.
Neither of us did well,
He's
so
afraid I'm
maybe
gonna jump on
it's
it.
like cutting the cards in blackjack.
Okay.
Maybe it's a good cut. All right, we're going to start Draymond Green. PRA. What's PRA?
Points,
rebounds, assists. 25.5. Now, you say to yourself, Draymond in the playoffs, maybe he gets a few more minutes, but I don't just do this on the blind. Okay, I actually really study this stuff way more than a human being should. His last game, which was the playoff game against the Clippers, which in essence was a playoff game, they didn't really raise his crazy amount of steps for that matter. They raised Jimmy Butler's a ton. Draymond is 51 and 17 under 25.5 PRA. He averages 20.5. They're raising at 5, and the playoff games are always lower scoring. He's 42 and 14 the year before that. So we have a guy who is 93 and 31 his last 2 years. Give me under 25.5.
All right.
It's not even, I'll sleep like a baby if it loses.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab the Blue Jays. They're even money today at home against the Braves.
Gossman.
Yeah, Golson versus Schwellenbach. So I'm gonna go Blue Jays today.
All right. You got the Jays. Brain.
I'll stay in that game, VG, because I think you have the right game, the wrong pick. I like the under and the 5-inning line. I trust both these pitchers a lot. Schwellenbach has 19 innings. He has an ERA. Let me bring up the stats here, actually. His last 10 starts, he has an ERA of 1.8. His ERA this year is 0.45. Gossman, 19 innings this year, has only allowed 9 hits, a 2.3 ERA. I've been under 4.5 runs. I think it'll be 1-1, 2-1, 1-0, 0-0, 2-2. Do not see 5 runs being scored.
I'm gonna stay here in town. I'm gonna do the under 8 runs tonight. I think Luzardo shuts out the Giants today.
All right. Under Phil's Giants. All right. Brain.
I was going to give this out, but the line moved too much. I did bet the Phillies laying $1.35, but the line is skyrocketed. I do think the Phillies win. Would not give it out at current numbers. Hunter Brown, baseball pitcher, Houston Astros, 22 and 11 over 5.5 strikeouts. Been one of the most under the radar, consistent, good pitchers for legitimately his last 40 starts. This guy, no one really knows about him, but he's just good. I'm going to take over 5.5 Ks. Again, it's been a 2 out of 3 winner.
I'm going to go the Chicago and the Padres. I'm going to take Chicago Cubs today. They're going to end this home stretch of the Padres. What are they, 11-0 at home? They lose today at home, the Padres do. So give me the Cubs.
I agree with that.
Who's pitching?
Amanja's been good. Randy Vasquez.
Oh.
Against Vasquez, who's trash, but he's pitched well so far to start the year. I almost did that. Came very close, but the number is a little bit too high for me to do it. Last, I'm going to give you one. The data on this is insane, guys. Listen to this data on this one. Karis LeVert, another Michigan player. Not surprised. Great NBA player. Anyone who goes to Michigan, bound for success. But he doesn't rebound great, guys. 4.5 rebounds. Listen to this. 53 and 11 to the under. 25 and 5 his last 30. Now, yet this was pricey. I had to lay about $1.64. So it wasn't free, but man, I have a 53 and 11 bet, 25 and 5 his last 30. How am I laying less than 2-1? I just have to do that. If he gets his 5 rebounds, I'll just have to chalk it up to bad luck. But I know if I could bet this 1,000,000 times, I'd be going to I'd be in business with the Parks Casino, building my own casino with the money I'd win.
The Brain Casino. I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. I like it. All right. How about Zach Edey rebounds?
I bet it. I bet over 10.5 rebounds, Anthony. Didn't get it. I bet it. I mean, by the way, I have about 50 bets tonight. I have so much stuff tonight. Man, I had to tonight I have a ton of stuff. I mean, it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet. I have so much stuff tonight, man. But all these lines moved in my favor. I can't give out the stuff when the lines move too much because I did these right at the open, and a lot of this stuff has moved drastically. So I don't like the past post. Like, oh, I try not to do it because I know it's annoying to hear it. But these things do move, and you got to be fast or the stuff moves. But I mean, my portfolio. It doesn't mean I'm going to win. I could lose every one of these bets, but I got good numbers and everything.
All right.
Hey, Bray, can I ask you, did you see that Mikal Bridges the other night where he just checked in at the game for a few seconds?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute. What do you think about that as a gambler? Like, if people were betting the under, cashing in on it because I guess some people saw it coming.
Did I tell you the Mikal Bridges story? Yeah, well, the Mikal Bridges story again. Like when I'm on my deathbed, what are your greatest? What are your any regrets, Brad? Mikal Bridges will be the first name that comes to my mind because I don't know if I told you guys this story. I was away in the Caribbean. It was like over a winter break or whatnot, and one of my betting partners, I'm glued to my phone, was trying to call me 5,000 times about Mikal Bridges. Had information was going to play 1 quarter and leave the game and bet all his unders and parlay him. And my phone was not working in the Caribbean in that one day. He made 6 figures. I made not even 6 cents because he's like, I'm buying everything I have on Mikal Bridges unders, parlayed the alternate unders and everything because there was information. He was only going to play a few minutes and leave. And I didn't get it in. I'm still sad to this day about the Mikal Bridges thing. I could have parlayed that.
6 seconds. He checked in for 6 seconds just to keep his consecutive game going, but to keep load management.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I
did not get
people
the
are hammering
information.
the under if they can time it right.
Yes.
When he's doing his load
Yeah,
management.
I didn't get this one either. You could have made $1 zillion, literally a zillion. Because what you could do, guys, there's alternate numbers. Like, let's say Mikal Bridges averages 17.5. You could bet under like 11.5, getting like 3-1. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He averages 5.5 rebounds. You bet under 2.5, getting like 6-1 odds. So if you're parlaying a 5-1, a 6-1, a 3-1, that even money bet now becomes 130-1 shot. Think about it.
Wow.
Think about it.
Wow.
Scary. That's what I'm saying. This day and age, if you get information like that, which is why it's very serious for the leagues to take this stuff seriously, someone could really make, no joke, 6-7 figures if they have the right information and they have the right infrastructure to get the bets down. You can manipulate stuff so easily if people get that quote unquote inside information. And people, obviously, some people had it. I wasn't one of them, but I would have given it out to everyone I knew.
Brady, do you think
everyone?
You think will be a time where the books will, the casinos and stuff will be like, oh, they have to play a minimum of like 2 minutes?
It's a great question. I think that VG, it's possible, but I can't think of another time where it happened like this, where it was like 1 second and he checked out.
Right.
It's not the worst idea what you just said to prevent against something like that. It's for their protection. It's not for our protection.
Right.
Although it could be. You could bet Mikal Bridges over if you didn't know and you got screwed. That wouldn't be fun. Right. If you're just betting it, you don't know Mikal Bridges is out and you bet is over. You see, 13.5. He averages normally 16. Yeah. I mean, but that's an interesting point, VJ. That's something that I could see happening one of these days for sure. I definitely could see that.
All right, Bray. Well, listen, good luck tonight. Enjoy it. We'll
3-1. I feel it. 3-1.
All right.
3-1.
There you go. He's got all unders.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, buddy. See you, pal.
See you.
There he is. La Brain. All right, let's take care of some business. Let's talk about, the the Parks Casino. Let's not talk about the app, because we tell you about the app. Let's talk about the casino, how much we love Parks Casino, Street Road, Bend, Salem. All right, all the incredible acts, MMA, boxing, comedians. I mean, it's there all the time. They have everything. So make sure spring, summer is in your purview. Right here, Street Road, Bend, Salem. All right, from the Turnpike, 95.
I like purview.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, you're busting the words out today.
All right, you got 1,000 hot online slots, steady-yard sportsbook, beautiful poker room, an all-weather beer garden, and a collection of award-winning restaurants. Parks Casino, this is how you win. Tickets on sale now for these headliners. Comedian Brian Regan, November 22nd.
Nice.
September 27th, comedian Russell Peters.
Okay.
May 16th, Larry the Cable Guy.
Get her done.
May 30th, country artist Ashley McBride.
All right, I've been working on this. I never wanted to be that girl. I never wanted to hate myself. There we go.
Good job.
Yeah.
June 6th, the sounds of Taj Mahal, Kev Mo.
All right. Woke up in the morning, baby. Had them Statesboro blues. Statesboro, Georgia, that is.
June 14th, Clutch.
Bang, 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 bang. Vamonos, vamonos.
July 3rd, Gary Clark Jr.
Oh. Here, come on.
You're imitating Andrew doing Clutch. Oh, doing Gary Clark. That's awesome. July 12th, comedian Mark Norman. July 18th, KC the Sunshine Band.
That's the way, I like it.
Don't forget dinner and drinks before the show. Liberty Bell Gastro Pub, Beer Garden, Parks Grill Steakhouse, Bamboo Noodle House, Chickies and Pete's, ParksCasino.com to buy tickets for all shows. Parks Casino, this is how you win. You got to be 21. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And spring is here. Flowers are blooming and low prices are blooming over at Ashley Furniture. So spring into some savings at Ashley. You can save up to 50% off living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, and have it all delivered free. Plus, get long-term, no-interest financing. I'm a big fan of that stuff. Save on top brand mattresses and get free delivery, setup, and removal. Plus, but don't wait, because spring into savings now at Ashley, South Jersey, and Philadelphia stores is not going to last forever. So get on it. Disclaimer. Financing with approved credit, minimum purchase required. Some exclusions may apply, so see the store for complete details and hurry to Ashley Furniture for some savings. Visit ashleyfurniture.com for more information.
All right. Now, it's leg day. Leg day. Leg day.
Leg day. Leg day. Leg day. Leg day.
Legs, first, let's put to bed the Sixers. What do you do if you're the Sixers? How do you approach this whole thing?
All you do, man, you know what you do, Ant? You get out your rosary beads. Let's start there, okay? Maybe find Google holy sites. I'd probably travel to the holy sites. I mean, get some, I'd go get some holy water actually at your local parish and maybe come by those three guys, or certainly the top two. So what else can you do? You're a victim of lack of availability. Yeah. I've joked around that when you Google the Philadelphia 76ers franchise and pull up year by year, because you can do that. You can see the entire history of the franchise, what their record was, how they finished the year, and then list it one after
BasketballReference.com.
Yeah, there will be no line for this season. It'll be the lost season. It never happened. The year never happened for the Philadelphia 76ers because of the way the year started, with Joel Embiid coming into the season not healthy, quickly followed by Paul George. And there you go, man. It was a wrap at that point. So I don't know, what can you do when you've got that kind of money committed to two guys that are hurt a lot? What choice do you have but just to sit back and hope that it plays out next year, that you can get all three of those guys on the court at the same time and get McCain back?
Yeah, because you can't trade anybody. Like, nobody's going to take. Maybe somebody takes George, but nobody's going to take Embiid.
I'm not even sure what the market would be for Paul George now after he signed this deal. I mean, honestly, what are you willing to give up for Paul George at this stage of his career with as much time as he misses? And on top of it, has had some questionable playoff performances in his career. It's not like this guy is money, in the playoffs. This isn't like Kawhi Leonard's situation where you go, okay, man, you know what? We know one thing. If he's out there playing and he's able to be on the floor, the guy's going to be dominant in the clutch, like Kawhi Leonard has been. So you kind of always are willing to give Kawhi Leonard the benefit of the doubt. Paul George is sort of past that point. So I don't know what the trade market would be for Paul George right now. Certainly for Joel Embiid, what would you be willing to give up to get Joel Embiid, knowing that there's a very good chance? I mean, he's one more serious injury away from potentially just retiring.
Right.
I mean, that's where we're at with him. So I don't know what the trade market would be for either one of those guys. All you can do is hope by shutting them down to the extent that you did this year, and they have an entire summer to recover, in an offseason to get well. You come back next year, and with that kind of talent, with those three guys, if they are healthy, man, there you go. Inject yourself into the Eastern Conference.
Right. I guess the only thing would be is if you traded them for nothing. Like, they're bad contracts is basically all you can get. Is it almost that better to restart the thing?
Man, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. You guys have already been through this once.
I know.
You want to go through that again, man?
Yeah, but this seems like it's putting off the inevitable. It feels like that's the future. And I almost want to fast forward to the future to get through it.
But the problem, the difference, again. I think the difference is, Anthony, you're not talking about anything with either of these two guys that is like one of the, the holy trinity of sports injuries in basketball that, like, you go, oh, wow, that's a game changer. You're not talking about torn patella tendons. Right. You're not talking about ACL reconstructions. You're not talking about ruptured Achilles. Those are the three. Yeah. That's different. That's different. That's when you go, you know what, man? They're never making it back. Not in their 30s. They're not making it back. So because it's not that, it's like that you don't have a choice. And it's terrible for the fans, man. I feel terrible for Nick Nurse. I feel terrible for the fans. I feel terrible for everybody associated with it, because you are literally in a position where you don't have another choice but to sit back and just hope that an offseason gets them right.
I know. It's unbelievable, because think about this. Even McCain, who blossomed and was the story of the early season, even he got hurt, right? Like, you couldn't even enjoy a young, up-and-coming player.
No, I mean, he was going to be Rookie of the Year. I believe that. I believe he was going to be Rookie of the Year. I think he was headed there. He opened my eyes early when I first saw him early in the season. They had a game in Golden State, and I did the game, and I was so impressed with his motor and his natural scoring ability. And then, of course, he goes down, and it just could just derailed their season further. So you got three guys, man. Maxey, for the most part, was healthy. Who knows at the end of the year what they, they're looking at him going, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
Running him out there. What's the point of that? So I'm not too worried about him. The other two guys, and then of course McCain, that's a big injury, but he's young. And guys come back from those injuries at that age now. They come back and they get back to themselves. Might not be next year, because sometimes it takes you an extra season to get confident to play in traffic and play with explosiveness, because you don't ever want to feel it again. So it might take him another season, but I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about Maxey at all. It's the other two guys. And so you're held hostage by their health.
Last thing with them, and then I want to move on to the playoffs, but did you see anything with Grimes that you could use going forward?
Yeah, definitely. And he blew everybody away with the numbers he was putting up.
Right.
And look, it's always context that matters. Look, Pat Connaughton had a 43-point game yesterday, and I called that game.
Right.
All right. So nobody's on the floor. Pat Connaughton, who's been taken out of the rotation for the most part because A.J. Green's taking his minutes in Milwaukee. Connaughton, but Doc Rivers told us before the game, Pat Connaughton is going to play today because I think there's a time in the playoffs a guy like that's going to help me win a game. And I get where he's coming from. Then he goes out, he drops 43 points. And, Pat Connaughton's not a 43. Think about this. He had a season high in the first quarter. Okay, so this is what we're talking about with Pat Connaughton. I think his career high was 23 or 25. And you think about it, the guy been around double-digit years in the league, and you think at some point he had a 30-point game.
Right.
So, that's what I'm talking about. He goes for 43. So you go, okay, well, that's interesting. Pat Connaughton's not a 43-point guy. Quentin Grimes, the first time he did it, I called one of those games. He had 44 points. I think that was against the Warriors, actually.
Yes, I remember. It was like, I remember you did the game.
Yeah.
Saturday
Jimmy
night.
Butler didn't play, right? And Quentin Grimes goes for like 44 in that game. And you're kind of like, that was his first like major eruption.
Yes.
And you're like, whoa, okay, that was interesting. But then he continued to like be the driving force behind their offense. So yes, now I believe there is more to Quentin Grimes than I thought. And that's another nice piece. If you can ever get everybody out there together, man, you got another guy that has tasted that level of scoring ability. Now, hey, on a given night, if one of those guys is out for rest or something's bothering them, you got another guy that dialed it up in a big way. That's just another piece for them. So I was very impressed with what I saw. He wasn't flukish. it got to the point where you're like, man, this guy's got some game. He's got some change of speed. He's got a nice hesitation dribble. He can really shoot the ball deep. I was very impressed with what I saw to Quentin Grimes and very, very surprised by his ceiling as a scorer. He completely smashed through that ceiling in my mind. So that's one of the few good things that came out of this season for the Sixers.
All right, let's switch gears to the playoffs. Playoffs begin tonight. We have the play-in game, so it all starts. Let's go West, because the West is interesting. The Clippers seem to me like a dangerous team. Obviously, OKC is the team to beat. You agree with the Clippers?
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm telling you right now, like Oklahoma City's been the cream of the crop in the West by a mile. They lack the field, for goodness sakes. You look at the lead they've had. So all year long, we've been asking ourselves that question. Who is the best? Who is the top challenger? And at different times, I would have made an argument for different teams. And there's probably been 4 or 5 teams in that category at one time or another. When you look at the totality of what's out there, I think the 2 biggest challengers to Oklahoma City are the Lakers and the Clippers.
Yeah.
I think they are. Yeah. And actually, I'm at the point, Anthony, I would not be shocked if the Clippers, now they're in the 4-5. So they're going to get Oklahoma. They beat Denver, which I think they will. If they get Oklahoma City, they're going to get them in the second round. So that if you know, they are absolutely capable of going toe-to-toe with Oklahoma City if Kawhi Leonard is healthy. And he has been for this long stretch. Because think about this. Yeah. Think about this. Harden's had a very good year. Norman Powell's had a career year.
Yes.
Kawhi Leonard is playing at a Kawhi Leonard in his prime level right now. And their 4th best player might be the most underrated player in the NBA.
Yeah.
Zubac.
Yeah.
Zubac is a monster. So you've got all bases covered. You got the point, you got the swing scorer, you got the isolation player, and you got the big. And they defend. That team really defends.
Yeah,
they got athletes.
Get after it.
They got athletes to go around. Derrick Jones Jr. and Dunn, and these guys get after you. Yes, to answer your question, the short answer is yes. The Clippers absolutely can make a deep run in the postseason. It's just going to be interesting the way it played out. It looked like they were going to be 6, and now you don't play OKC until the conference finals. Now, if they beat Denver, they got Oklahoma City right away, assuming Oklahoma City takes care of business in that 1-8 matchup.
What happened to the Nuggets that they, you fire Malone, the whole thing? What was the collapse there?
It's weird because I just strongly disagree with the move. Number one, just in general.
Yeah.
But especially when you consider the timing. You're talking about a guy that just won a championship a couple of years ago.
Exactly.
He knows that team better than anybody, and he's been in a hot seat for 10 years with that group. I understand there's a shelf life to these things, and whatever reason, something became a little bit toxic and dark in that locker room, and just apparently, the more and more I'm hearing about it, and I know people very close to the situation, it's gotten to the point where nobody was really enjoying themselves anymore. And Michael Malone, look, he's tough. He calls his team out after lack of effort, and I'm cool with that. That's what I know as a player. That's what my coaches did, the ones I respected. Because it's not like he embarrasses guys. It's always in the collective. We this and we that. And he's hard on it, but he's also puts an arm around you. And he's not afraid to tell you that he appreciates you, to give you credit at the post-game press conference, during a game, supporting guys. I've seen it. I think he's the best of both worlds, and he's a great communicator, man. So it shocked me when they made the move, and it made no sense to do it right before the playoffs. And you're now telling me they're in better hands? And I don't care what David Adelman ultimately ends up being as a coach. You're telling me they're in better hands right now, going into the playoffs to win this year in this postseason? I just find it hard to believe. Why not wait till the summer and make that move? As soon as the season ends, make the move. And open yourselves up to other guys that might get fired, or who knows, assistant coaches that you want to look at. Why would you make the move with 7 games left in the season? I don't get it. And I think ultimately Denver's going to run into a better team than the Clippers right now. The Clippers are just better than them right now. And we might not really even get to see what Adelman could do in the postseason, because that's a bad matchup for Denver.
Yeah, it's interesting because with Zubac, that affects Jokic. So, and then there was talk about Jokic just kind of putting stuff out there that he may not come back. Like, that would be outrageous.
Yeah, and that, and I said this, and cause I think it's only fair to bring this up. And look, I love Jokic, man. I love his game. Yeah. I love everything about the guy, right? But if we're gonna beat up other players, star players, when coaches get fired? Where was he in this? Because he admitted they came to him before they made the move. Now, he said they didn't ask his opinion. They told him this is what's happening, but they wanted him to know first. Well, okay, there's your opportunity. No, man, I'm not cool with that.
Right.
He deserves better than that. I want to roll with him. Let's ride this out this postseason, and then you can do what you want in the offseason. This guy has won a championship. A lot of what I have done in my career, I owe to Michael Malone. I don't want you making this move. He didn't do that. But yet no one's going to mention that. No one's going to say, like, hey, they're not going to call him Nikola Jokic the coach killer. Like, no, they're not going to do that. Other guys have gotten that label. Durant's about to get his third coach in 3 years in Phoenix. I mean, think about that. So he's carrying that baggage around with him. And I'm not saying Jokic got him fired. I'm just saying you had an opportunity as a star player and one of the faces of the league to absolutely go to bat for the guy if you wanted to, and he chose not to. And I think that absolutely had something to do with why they made that move, thinking like, man, this guy might not resign. We need to do something right now. And if he's not giving us any resistance, that means he wants him gone too. So now we're cool. We can go make this move without worrying about his reaction.
Yeah, that's crazy. You mentioned the Lakers as another team that, obviously with Luka and LeBron, and that's a great series with Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota's playing great. JJ Redick put some stuff out there yesterday just talking about what they've been doing lately, how far their team has come in the second half of the year. They have really found some stuff, and they really defend. That's going to be – look, I could list a number of what I think are going to be great first-round series. Now, we don't know who the ones and twos are playing yet. I don't expect Cleveland or Boston to really get tested too much in their first-round series. But I think those other two in the East, Knicks, Pistons, that could be a brawl.
Yeah.
And I look at Indiana and Milwaukee, that's going to be up and down the floor, fast-paced. No Lillard, that's going to be tough for the Bucks, even though they beat Indiana 3 out of 4 in the regular season. Lillard played in all of those games. We don't know about it. By the way, I thought he was done for the year because of his blood clot in his calf. They're saying, they told us, I just did the game yesterday. I was in Milwaukee. They said they're not ruling it out that he comes back at some point in the first round.
Wow.
Or they said it's weird thing because he can't fly right now. Everything is progressing. The blood clot is thinning. It's almost gone, but he's got no conditioning at all, and he can't fly yet. So Doc Rivers said, man, I don't know. The medical staff says they're hopeful he can come back in the first round. Doc said, I'm going to proceed as if we're not going to have him. So who knows when?
By the way, it's Indiana. You could drive.
That's the thing. Yeah, exactly. Who knows when he inserts himself into the playoffs if they're still alive? But I think that could be a long, drawn out, entertaining series. And then, of course, what I just said about the 4-5 Clippers, Denver, that could be incredible. And then you get Lakers, Minnesota, could be unreal. And then listen, Golden State's got to win their play-in game.
Yeah.
If they win the 7-8. They become the 7th seed. They play the Rockets.
Yes.
So losing yesterday, Anthony, might not be the worst thing to happen to them as long as they win the 7-8 game. Because if they lose that game, they get another home game against the winner of the 9-10, Sac Dallas. I'm calling that game. I don't know who that's going to be. Either one of those teams could win that game. Golden State, even if they win that game, they're now the 8th seed, and now you play Oklahoma City right out of the game.
Wow.
So the ramification, losing yesterday to me and not having to play the Lakers in the first round, to me, that could be a godsend as long as they win tomorrow night.
Rockets, yeah.
Or tonight,
yeah.
Tuesday night. Then you get Houston, which is a great defensive team, but very inexperienced with the postseason. I think Steve Kerr and the Warriors will roll their dice with Houston, and then you'd get the winners of Lakers, Minnesota in the second round.
Yeah. Memphis is tough, though.
Memphis is tough. They're another team.
You froze up. Yeah,
Sorry, I just real quick. I just was saying I can't believe Memphis fired Taylor Jenkins right before the playoffs either.
I know.
Made no sense. But again, it's like, oh well, Ja like is a little disgruntled, and then all of a sudden the organization caves. Let's cave.
Yeah,
oh my God,
they were playing well. Come on,
Taylor Jenkins. If you met Taylor Jenkins and sat down with Taylor Jenkins for 15 minutes, you'd come away walking away from that.
Wow.
So impressed with this dude's intellect, communication skills. Just like he's a lot like Mark Dagnall in Oklahoma City. They're very similar. They're tight, and there's a reason they're tight. I can see why. Like those are two guys that see the game the same way. He's done a great job in Memphis. 35 different starting lineups this year. Everybody in and out of the lineup.
I like Edie playing. I don't know. It gives him a little presence.
Yeah. I mean, but who knows? Look, Memphis now they put themselves in a tough spot here. They gotta, they potentially get Oklahoma City in the first round. If they lose to Golden State and then they win the next game, they get OKC in the first round. They're not beating OKC.
All right, I know you got to go because we'll get you back. But last thing, is it true that you threw 90 miles an hour on the Wildwood Boardwalk?
I don't know, man.
One of the games?
It was years and years ago. Did I get to 90? I don't. That's what the legend has grown into. It was up there, Anthony. That's all I'm going to say. And I'll tell you this too. I then went home and unbeknownst to everybody, I do remember this. I went right into the bedroom, put an ice pack on my shoulder. Because it was dumb. It was dumb. Imagine not playing like organized baseball for years and years and going out with no warm-up and throwing the ball as hard as you can the first time. It's probably the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life.
But you got 90. Oh my
But I did, and I won. I do know this. I won a giant stuffed animal because it was the hardest pitch of the day, and that's what you had to do to get the damn. I think it was a panda. I think it was a stuffed panda. That's what I got for that.
Legs.
Yeah, stuffed panda. I got a stuffed panda and a torn labrum. That's what I got for that.
That's fabulous. That's awesome. We'll be watching you tomorrow night. We'll bug you later in the playoffs. Brother, you're the best.
All right, man. You got it.
All right. The story goes, it's Legs and his buddy. They're on the boardwalk with their kids and all, right? And there's that fast pitch, right, with the radar gun. This is like a Baldy thing, right? A feat of strength.
Right, yeah.
Like Baldy could do something crazy like this. Yeah. So his buddy goes, all right, let's go. And, Legs is competitive. Now, he didn't stretch, nothing. And his buddy's a good athlete, too. And they get to, the 82, whatever. And then Legs has to break 90. He breaks 90.
He's got a cannon?
Because he was a baseball player. And he throws 90.
That's not. Did he play baseball at LaSalle?
No.
High school?
He wanted to play.
Yeah.
He actually was a better baseball player than a basketball player.
Oh, wow.
And, they thought baseball was a sport. And he fell in love with basketball.
That's neat.
Yeah. Pretty wild.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, we will have the one, the only, Baldy. But first, let's talk about some of our friends.
All right, our people over at Empire today.
Empire.
They are here to help you out with good flooring. Because just like your favorite team needs a home court, field, and ice advantage, your home needs a floor advantage. And Empire Today, they can help you get it. Empire Today is flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring. We've all been to those big box stores. They might have a flooring department and someone actually working there if you can find them. But that person, they don't know flooring. They probably did plumbing the day before and stocked some light bulbs the day after that. Empire Today, they live, they breathe flooring. That's all they do, and they're with you every step of the way. They're flooring experts. They bring the showroom right to your house, which is super convenient and cool. You pick out the flooring you like and the right colors, and you see how it looks with your furniture in your room with their virtual designer, so you know everything matches and nothing clashes. With Empire Today, you get clear, upfront, all-inclusive pricing, plus if it's in stock, you can schedule installation as soon as the next day, which is unheard of. So schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. PHLY listeners, you receive a $350 discount when you use the promo code PHLY. That's right, $350 discount with the code PHLY. Restrictions do apply. Visit EmpireToday.com/PHLY for full details. And did you know that hair loss is so common that by age 35, that's not old, it's young. 2/3 of men already experience hair loss and thin. Don't stress it, though.
What happened to you?
Dude, like 28.
Really?
Yeah, right after I was able to grow my hair super long, had it for years, and then started to thin it out. I had a priest who wished it on me, Father Joe Howarth. I was sat in the front row.
He wanted because you cut your hair?
Senior theology class. He was my dad's buddy, too, growing up. He walked past me and he stopped and he's like, Caputo. And he looked at my hair and he's like, These are some thin hair. You're going to be just like me when you're older. And he was bald as could be.
Oh, that's a violation of the father.
Total violation of Father Howard.
That's terrible.
So if you're thinning out, you don't stress it because Glad Hair's got you covered with cutting-edge treatments like TED, PRP, and exosomes. They help keep the hair you already got. And they help bring you back what you've already lost. So it's not surprising Glad Hair has the name and reputation they do. With over 30 years of experience restoring hairlines, it's clear why patients repeatedly choose the Glad Hair team. So Glad Hair Technique, you get 3 things. One-on-one personal care, 100% personalized hair restoration plan tailored specifically for you and your hair loss, and some solid follow-up care. Glad Hair by Morgenstern Medical is the country's premier hair restoration destination. Ready to defend your hairline? Visit gladhairmm.com or call or text them 610-980-4000, and one of their team members will get back to you and get you all set up. Gladhair.com.
What? This portion of the program brought to you by Rite Aid, riteaid.com/PHLY for the pharmacy and store nearest you. Now, a master of the feat of strength.
He would probably bash those like things you punch.
Yeah, he could do that.
Yeah.
Baldy.
Baldy. Oh, let's talk some football. Baldy. Oh, he likes pizza and football.
Oh, Baldy.
All right. I got to ask you before we start, is there something on the boardwalk that you could master, like a feat of strength? Like maybe that punching thing, like where it gives you it records the punch. Like I could see you either that or like at a World's Fair, I could see you wrestling like a bear or a gator.
Well, good morning, cuz. I don't know. I like a corn dog on the boardwalk, to be honest with you. Corn dog with some mustard. I'm not looking to mangle my body. Maybe back in the day, I would arm wrestle somebody, cuz.
Yes.
Back when I
I
had
could see you being a great arm wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the arm wrestling thing now. I did that. The NFL used to have an arm wrestling tournament in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And each team sent 2 representatives. All right. So I go out there one year. My first year I go out there. I don't know anything about it. Like I find some guys in Dallas there, like I'm representing the Cowboys. So Randy White's like, I'm not doing this. You go, Baldy. I'm like, okay, Randy, I'll go. So I get this all expenses paid trip to Las Vegas, which is a mistake, by the way. When they send you out a week early, you never come home with any money. You're broke. All right. So it's a mistake. But I go out there, and the first guy I go up against is Fred Dean.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Fred Dean was the master pass rusher for the 49ers at the time. And Fred Dean smoked cigarettes. So Fred Dean was backstage taking a stick, and he's just like puffing on a cigarette. I don't know if it was part of his act, but he's like smoking a cigarette. It's like, next up from San Francisco 49ers, Fred Dean, and from the Dallas Cowboys, Brian Baldinger. We come out, big live audience, and Fred Dean's got this stick going, and he drops it, and he puts it out with his foot, right? And he goes up there, and we're like jockeying for position, whatever. And literally, they got the referee there. In like 2 seconds, he pins me. It's over.
No.
And I'm like, my arm is hurting. It's hurting bad. So I'm like, damn, all right. So, but it's double elimination. You get a chance. Fred Dean ended up winning the tournament. Like he was so fast out of the blocks. Like you didn't even get a chance to wrestle. It was just over. He did that. He did that to everybody, man.
Who did you get in the other bracket?
I got Klecko. In another bracket. That didn't last long. Klecko, Joe Klecko is Polish. He's got this Eastern European Polish strength. He actually, years later, he came and played his last year in Indianapolis. I thought I knew how to lift weights until I lifted with Joe Klecko. Like he literally got me 6 more years in the league.
Wow.
Like he was a power lifter, like cock strong, like just strong, but also like powerlifting strong too. So I every time I see Joe, I thank him because literally I went from being almost bounced out of the league after 6 years to getting 6 more years when I figured out what I was doing.
What did he? What was? What were you doing wrong? Like, what did he show you?
Well, I mean, first of all, he only did power lifts. All right, he didn't do a lot of time. Like he did deadlifts, he did jerks, and he did squats, heavy squats. Those were the only 3 lifts he did. Like he lifted like a power lifter, and I never really lifted like that before. So I got into that, and then the technique of powerlifting. You know, I mean, whether you're your back pulling from your legs, where you put your weight, like all this stuff. But I got really, I mean, after that year with Joe, I got really strong, really strong. Made a big difference.
That's awesome. That's all. Baldy, I could see you wrestling a bear. Like I could see you wrestling a bear, a gator.
I said this about Jalen Carter this year. I said, if Jalen Carter got in a wrestling match with the bear, I'd feel sorry for the bear. That was my line. That was my line.
You're right. You don't even know, and you're right. You're spot on there. I'll call you after the show.
All right. Okay. You got a story or two there, cuz?
He scares everybody, put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
He would scare the bear.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen enough of him on the field to know pretty much can predict what he's like either in practice or off the field.
Yeah. He's frightening. He's a scary dude, man.
I think he'd be a difficult guy to rein in, and maybe a guy you don't want to rein in.
Yes. No, you don't. No, that's it. Just let him scare the daylights out of everybody, man. Yeah. That's what he is. All right, let's go to draft as you're prepping. And I want to do Baldy's top 5 each position, right? So we'll start with offense, and this will take us through probably next week or so. But let's start off offense. We'll start off quarterback, and let's go. You're in order. Who Baldy likes top 5.
All right. I like Cam, number 1. I got a chance to see him throw. I got a chance to be around him. He's been to 3 different colleges, like most of these guys, 2 or 3 colleges. Like he's just, I think he has a chance to elevate the next team, presumably Tennessee at this point. But I'm with Shedeur here. I'm riding Shedeur just because I know I know he was limited by the offense he was in. Pat Shermer was his coach this year. He basically installed Chip Kelly's offense, which is about as basic as you get, but they want to play with tempo. And the only 5 pieces he had to work with, and that's why he installed it, was Shedeur and 4 receivers. He didn't have anything else. And so it's a very simplistic offense, but at the same time, Shedeur, because he got blitzed more than most quarterbacks in his whole country. Max blitzed a bunch, and he had to make quick decisions, and he had to make accurate decisions. I thought he did that. And I know the Giants are going out there Thursday again to Boulder. Not like to go to Boulder to go work a guy out is that's a group decision. But they were all out there, 12 days ago when I was out there. And they're going back out there Thursday to look at him. They want to make sure they know what they're doing. But the New Orleans Saints right here, right now, cuz with this whole injury to Derek Carr and how bad it might be, I can see Kellen Moore, who's got time. He's got, he can take a rookie quarterback on right now. I could see Shedeur going 9 to the Saints if he gets past the Giants. But then right behind him, like, I don't think Jalen Milroe is the 3rd best quarterback, but he's so talented that you have to, Georgia's got number 1 picks everywhere on their defense. And he ran through them like a knife through hot butter. Like, he ran for 32 touchdowns the last 2 years. And you can say, well, okay, he's a running quarterback. He might be. But I like to see him with a good coach and a good system. I like to see, because he's got a good arm. He's got good size. I don't know if he could be Lamar Jackson. I'm not predicting that. But that's kind of what Lamar was coming out of Louisville. I got Kyle McCord right behind him. I love Kyle McCord. Like, that guy's got a cannon. I think he processes really well. He's been at 2 programs. He's been a winning quarterback at both programs. And then I've got Jackson Dart. And I like Dart. There's just some things about his makeup and how he responds to things where I'm just not crazy about him.
Wow. So you got Cam, then you threw for a loop with Shador and Milrow. Like, I don't see Shador, but Milrow, I'm intrigued by. I just got done talking to Franny about this.
I mean, because he ran a 4.37 40. Now I know the 40 time isn't everything, but like the way that he runs, like he's just gonna. I mean, look, he's got a long way to go with everything, reading defenses, accuracy. Like he's got a long way to go. But there's some teams that are in love with him right now, you know, that have sat down with them, met with them.
He's a great kid.
He's a good kid. He's played with 2 different coaching staffs at Alabama right now. I don't know. There's something about him. Like I'm probably overdrafting him, or at least in this ranking. But I saw him at the Senior Bowl. It's not like he didn't belong there. There's some games where you just go, good luck trying to corral this kid.
No,
you know,
and listen, you know, we talk about the Georgia game. I think you and I were texting during that game. And, you know, I mean, he's got ridiculous ability. He just is, he needs to sit for 2 years. Like you gotta.
Oh, I don't think there's any question. There's at least a redshirt year involved.
Yeah.
There's no question. But honestly, like I remember Jalen Hurts' first start. All right. They played the New Orleans Saints, who had, I think they were a top 5 defense at the time, maybe top 3 defense. Sean Payton was coaching. They came to the link, and he literally ran for over 100 yards against them. Like he just dropped back, didn't like what he saw, and ran. And the Saints were helpless. Their tongues were dragging out on the ground. And they beat the Saints in his first start. And I'm like, Jalen wasn't anything to write home about, you know, when he first started. Like it was point and shoot. If it wasn't there, he ran. Now he's a Super Bowl MVP and a legit player. And he's been through different, you know, staffs and offenses and all this. But so I don't know what I don't know about Jalen, what Milrow, that I feel I know about Hurts is he's just wired to be great. Like he's just, nothing's going to stop him from being great. Coaches aren't going to stop him. Programs, like he just wants to be great. Now he's the son of a coach. Like that's how he was raised. He's wired the right way. Nothing knocks him off. I don't know if Milrow's wired like that. That's, you know, the missing ingredient.
Dart 5. That surprises me, especially after we watched him and you liked him.
Yeah, I did. I do like him. But, you know, I've got access to some film that nobody else has. And a lot of it is stuff shot on the sideline, stuff shot in the huddle, pregame. And I just watch these melts and I'm like, I don't want my quarterback to act like this. Like I just see some things, like the emotion gets to this kid. And there's something about that bugs me. Like I've seen Joe Burrow just crushed by Myles Garrett. Just crushed. Like nothing bothers that guy. He might not be happy, you know, might be pissed at his left tackle, but he ain't saying anything. Like I watched this guy. There's just some 38 games for Lane Kiffin, like a lot of good tape, beat Georgia this year, big time throws, good runner. Not Jalen Milrow, but good runner. There's something about his makeup that just recently that I've watched. The guy go, man, is this what you want with your quarterback? I don't. There's something like I just need my guy to be calm and steady, and like I don't need this from my quarterback.
Yeah, no. Listen, that's a big deal. That's a real big deal. All right, let's go wide receiver because the wide receiver is interesting.
Well, I got Travis Hunter 1. Like I don't think it's a great group, but I got Travis Hunter.
Do you think Hunter
1.
is? Would you play him predominantly receiver or D-back? Because I thought he'd be more of a D-back.
I would start him on defense,
Yeah.
and I would have packages for him on offense.
Yeah.
Other teams see it differently. I don't believe
with you.
right now that I don't believe right now after, you know, what you just spoke about last Friday, because with Flacco signing in Cleveland, like I don't believe Cleveland's taking a quarterback at 2. I think they fell in love with Travis Hunter at his pro day. Everybody was there, Jimmy Haslam, the owner, you know, Stefanski, Andrew Berry, the GM. I mean, they were all there. and I think their jaws drop when they watch Travis Hunter play.
Yeah.
The guy is indefatigable. All right. I don't think he's a polished route runner or anything close to it. In fact, he tried to run routes at his pro day. It looked awkward. But he adjusts to the ball. I don't think there's anything he can't learn. But his ability to adjust to a ball, out jump people.
Yeah.
You remember when Dennis Rodman was leading the league in rebounding? He just had this fast twitch. He just jumped faster.
Yeah.
Maybe not higher, but he jumped
Yeah.
faster than everybody
Yeah.
going every
Yeah.
That's what Travis Hunter does.
Yeah.
He just gets off his feet before anybody else gets off their feet.
Yeah.
And then he just takes the ball away wherever it is. So he's number one, but I've got Golden number 2 from Texas. This guy's a blazer, but and he waited his turn with Worthy and some guys that came out, but he's just he's a good route runner. There's something about Matthew Golden right now that I feel like he can run every route. He's got suddenness to him. I like him. I like Agbuka from Ohio State. He waited his turn. He's been there. I mean, it's wide receiver you at this point. These guys just keep kind of, he was there catching balls when Marvin was there and going back to Garrett Wilson and Olave. He's just waited his turn. But he was productive with all those guys that were there.
Yeah.
He still got his chances, especially in the slot, but he's 6'1", he's 202 pounds. He's sturdy. He can win inside, he can win outside.
He's smooth too.
He's smooth.
Yeah.
I like
him too. You like McMillan?
I like the kid from Missouri, Luther Burden 4.
Oh yeah.
He reminds me, honestly, not just because he comes out of Missouri. He reminds me of Jeremy Macklin. I think the Eagles took Macklin at 19. He was a great receiver for a decade. With whoever the quarterback was. He reminds me of Macklin. I think he's more than just slot receiver. That's where he got most of his catches. And then I've got Tet McMillan, who most people have number 1. I've got him 5. There's just something about this kid. He's from Hawaii. He's, you could go watch him on YouTube and you could just see this freakish athletic acrobatic ability, which is important. It's important. But he ran a 4.52, which is fast enough at his size, which is 6'4" and change, 220 pounds. He's a big receiver. But I don't think he's Drake London. I don't think he has a burst. I don't think he scares you. I talked to some guys that were great receivers in this league about him, and they're down on him. They just think he's kind of I don't know, if the ball's coming my way, great. If it's not coming my way, I'm not paying attention. There's just something where he kind of goes to sleep if the ball's not coming to him. You've seen that in different Big 12 offenses over the years. You remember when Baylor was rolling?
Oh, yeah.
They had inside receivers, outside receivers.
Yep.
And if you weren't on the side where the ball was going, you basically didn't even leave the line of scrimmage. You just stayed there. And not one single receiver that came out of Baylor was any good. Now, I'm not comparing him to Baylor receivers. He's better than all those guys. But Corey Coleman, one year, was the number 1 receiver in the draft. He was a complete bust. TCU, look at the TCU receivers that have come out. Not one of them have been any good. He kind of looks like a Big 12 receiver to me that gets overdrafted, that isn't much when he gets to the NFL outside of his measurables right now.
That's interesting. That's a great reasoning. I love the reasoning behind it, because you're right. 6'4", I mean, whew, he's got good hands. But to your point, if you're not in and want it every play, I got a problem. Golden does. Golden wants to be a star.
It's interesting to listen to A.J. Brown, even after a Super Bowl talk.
Yeah.
Because obviously A.J. gets ticked if he's not getting the ball. But he didn't even enjoy winning the Super Bowl. He enjoys literally whipping defenders. He just wants to beat them into submission.
Yeah.
That's what he loves doing. Now, you got to get targeted to do that. But his thing is he just wants to go in the octagon with you and just crush you. That's what he likes. That aspect to a receiver, you would call that guy a dog. I need dogs out there. You ain't going to get the ball some Sundays. You're just not. I don't care if your name is, Randy Moss. You just go through the list. you go through a list of great receivers. Like they want to just literally light you up. I don't know if this guy has that in him.
That's a great point, man. It's a great point. I like Burden too. Like you mentioned Burden. I think he's going to be better than Macklin. I think he's got more.
He's good after the catch. He's really good after the catch.
And there was some quarterback inconsistency there too.
Well, Brady Cook was the quarterback. I had him in the Hula Bowl this year. That's kind of his level of play, honestly. Like he wasn't very good at the Hula Bowl. So that's what you're dealing with. He was a starter at Missouri. They're in the SEC. You're going up against elite defenses. Like, I don't know. It looked like they had two players on offense to me. They had a right tackle and they had the receiver. And they're, semi-competitive in the SEC. I like Bird. I do. I think he's really, really solid. I don't think he's spectacular. I don't think he's Garrett Wilson, but I think he's going to be a good player.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, let's do one more. Let's do running back.
All right. Well, I mean, it starts with Ashton Genty. There's just, first of all, this guy is so much fun to study. He's a home run hitter. Contact balance doesn't even begin to describe his ability just to bounce off defenders. But honestly, he's just muscle on top of muscle. Like, it's just hard to get a hold of the guy. The guy's got, he looks like a old school bodybuilder in just his biceps. I mean, he's got 20-inch guns. I don't see any offensive lineman have guns that look like Ashton Genty. Like, he's just got body on him. All right? He's just built for contact. But he's got the ability, the quicks to make you miss. He's not going to just waste his time running you over. He can do it when time calls for it. But he sees the hole. He doesn't need much daylight. He can turn on the jets. He's a top 5 player in this draft. I don't care what position you're looking at. I don't think he gets out
after
of the top
contact. 10. What he does after contact. Boise did not have a prolific passing game. They did not have a great offensive line. And he was after contact. That's the thing that just strikes me all the time with that kid.
Well, I think it's a good running back class. I think you get these backs. But I think if you want Genty, I think you're going to have to spend a top 10 pick. If Dallas thinks they're going to get Ashton Genty sitting at 12, I think he's going to be gone.
Yeah.
It might be the Raiders with Pete Carroll. It might be the Bears with the new regime. I don't think he's getting out of the top 10.
Yeah.
So Genty, I've had somebody compare him to LaDainian Tomlinson, coming out of TCU. I'm not going crazy. I'm not running any comps like that with him. LT is just a unique player. But I've got a Marion Hampton at North Carolina, number 2. He's everything that Genty is. He just doesn't have the stats that Genty has put up over the last 2 years. But he's a good back, really good back. There's nothing not to like him from the size, contact balance, ability to catch it. He's legit, and I think he's a first-round pick, and I think he's going to go in the first round. I've got Trevion Henderson at Ohio State.
Yeah.
They had Quinshon Judkins, and they had Trevion Henderson.
Yeah.
I like Trevion a little better. He's a little smaller, 20 pounds lighter. He's been a 4-year player there. Unbelievably productive. It was probably good that Judkins came on because they ended up splitting the carries.
Yeah, it saved
and
his
that was
legs.
good. It kind of kept him fresh.
Yeah.
And then I've got this Scatterboo from Arizona.
I was waiting for him. I
This
love
Cam
Scatterboo.
You got to get over a skin complexion. You just have to get over. You just have to Christian. He's not Christian McCaffrey.
No.
But this guy is.
He's more powerful though.
He's got more power. This guy, he carried this team to the playoffs. He gave Texas. You just go watch that Texas game. Texas played. It went double overtime because of Scatterboo. You watch the last 6 games of this kid play, and they're all good teams. Arizona, you just go through all he just put the ball in his hands. He had 30 carries against Texas for 150, and then he caught 8 balls for 100 yards. You want to screen it to him? You want to check it down to him? You want him to run Texas routes on you? He's fun. And then my last guy is, I love this kid, Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Ollie.
2 years ago, when they actually had a quarterback and an offense, he ran for 1,700 yards.
Yeah.
And he was the best back in the country. Now, he fell off this year, but Ollie Gordon is 230 pounds. Now, I think he ran like a 4.62. I don't really care because it's not really important. Like, the guy can hit a hole, and he's got size. He's not Le'Veon Bell coming out of Michigan State, but he kind of reminds you of a big guy like that. That's not fast, but has suddenness to him, knows how to find the hole, can truck you. I'm a big fan of Ollie Gordon.
Yeah, I like it. Ollie Gordon, baby.
I love an Ollie.
Yeah.
Ollie's a great name.
Yeah, it is. We are in overtime. OT, baby. We love our overtime. Baldy. Great stuff, brother. What's your schedule? And you got a week ahead. You know, we're almost we're 9 days away from the draft.
Yeah, I'm honestly just grinding away, and I'm just I'm into the 4th round, 5th round. I'm looking at Drew Kendall last night, center for Boston College, that can play. Like, I'm just looking for guys that can play that you can get, you know, on the 3rd day. So I'm just spending my time just looking at these guys, because, you know, when you get to a 3rd day pick, I mean, it helps that, you know, the guy, like, just take Drew Kendall. You know, his dad played, you know, 13 years in the NFL. Big fan of his father, played in Seattle. So you got bloodlines. Then you go to Boston College, which turns out offensive lineman every year, and you're getting coached by Doug Marrone last year. You know, an old-time offensive line coach, head coach in this league. Then he starts 37 games for Boston College. From the day he got there, he's been the starter. So then you look at all those things and you go, okay, and he's 6'4", and he's 310, and he ran well. All right, is he elite strength? Is he this, that? Oh, you can pick him apart. But at the end of the day, the guy can play center in the NFL. And if you got to swing him to guard, he's smart, you know, and he's tough, and he's been injury-free. So you're like, he's a clean athlete. You don't have to worry about him. Like, he passes every test off the field, right? And then he's played. So you look at these guys, you go, okay, you know, like Kelsey was a 6th-round pick. You know what they said about Kelsey? He's undersized, but he can run. And, you know, he's an athlete. Well, okay, he's going to the Hall of Fame. So that doesn't happen very often. But, like, you could pick apart Kelsey coming out of Cincinnati going, man, that guy's athletic. That guy can run. And to his final game, you all could say that he could run. But they said he didn't have enough power. Well, lower body, he's as strong as anybody in this business over the last 13 years. Lower body strength. So you're looking for traits that transfer to the NFL, cuz. And so that's what I'm looking at. Movement, strength, durability. You're just looking for traits that you can say, this is worth drafting.
How about great is that?
Can I get an update on the progress of the wardrobe selection for the big day on television?
Well, you can. So I had this kid, and he's trying to get into the suit business. So I meet him at the combine, right? And he's trying to start his business, and he's willing to make 2 new suits. All right. So he gives me. I look at all the patterns, the whole thing. So, anyways. Long story short, we decide on 2 suits. He comes over last night and we have a fitting, and it's just too tight. It's just too small. Like, he just didn't get the measurements right. So, but one of those I wanted to wear on Saturday. So that he's going to go actually recut it now, and they're all complimentary suits. He wants me to. So anyway, so that's out. So I've got one that's conservative and will look good, and then I've got one that's loud and can pop. And I'm a little torn. Depends.
You gotta go loud.
Yeah,
You gotta go
gotta
loud.
go loud.
You gotta go loud. You gotta pop it. You're Baldy. You just gotta be loud.
Well,
and pop it.
I mean, if you went to a Prime 112 in South Beach, you'd want to walk into Prime 112 with this jacket on.
What color is it?
It's like it's Don Johnson light green with stripes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to roll with it. It's perfect. It's Easter.
Oh, it is Easter. You're right.
It's perfect. You got to rock it.
Remember like Miami Vice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what Don Johnson would wear.
Yeah.
in Miami Vice.
What's
back
the
in
material? It's not
The 80s.
linen.
It is. It's a cotton blend.
Okay.
Very light. Yeah, made for Miami weather.
Is that a Grateful Dead cup you're drinking out of?
No, it's a Baldy's breakdown cup.
Oh, sweet.
does-
All right,
it
I was
does
worried. I
look
was
a
worried
little
for a
bit light.
second.
Dude, I
Great
need
for
I was worried
goodies,
for-
man. Where's my Baldy breakdown?
Yeah, well, I
cup?
need one right there. Instead of that,
Yeah,
is that a Starbucks cup right there?
yeah.
Can we talk about? Is that a sponsor of yours?
No.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because I saw them. If you go to Starbucks, they've got 3 different size cups, right? Basically small, medium, large, but whatever they call them in Italian.
Yeah.
A venti, whatever.
Venti.
I saw
grande.
something.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, grande, venti.
Okay, yeah. All right. I saw something where the small cup is exactly the same amount of volume of coffee as the large cup. But the cup it's got a larger circumference. And so it's smaller, shorter, but it's the same amount of coffee. Now, if that's
serious?
true,
I gotta
and I'm
find
gonna go
out.
find
Because it's
if
supposed to
that's
be
true.
20 ounce, 16 ounce, 12 ounce.
All right, they never say that the ounces. Okay, they never say the ounces. They do it at Wawa. They have the ounces at Wawa, but they never say the ounces at Starbucks.
I got to find out. I'm going to find out tomorrow. Because I
You
do
find
my
out,
6
Gus.
shots, my Americano.
I'm saying right now,
All
it's marketing genius. If that's true.
That's a ripoff, if that's the case.
Stone cold ripoff.
I just like the taste of the coffee. That's it.
Okay, all right. I mean,
I need to pull this
that's not
breakdown.
my,
I'll
like,
put
that,
my-
I think that
I have my own, but I need it to stay hot, right? Like, so
I
that's why.
understand. I got you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I want to go to a Starbucks and test it out myself.
I'll you know what? I'm going to do it. In fact, I'll save this cup, and tomorrow I'll get it.
Pour that in a small cup and
Yeah.
see if it actually fits.
Okay, I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll have an answer
that.
for you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to ask you one other thing.
Were you going to ask me about the Eagles at 32?
No. We got plenty of time for that.
Okay.
We'll do that. What I told you, we'll do that later.
All right. Yep.
The greenhouse, because I saw the greenhouse video.
Beautiful greenhouse.
Yeah, it's great. Do you have the Hungarian wax peppers? Are they blooming?
I have not planted them yet because it's been just too cold.
Okay.
But the Hungarian wax peppers are coming. I might start them when I get back to my house indoors because they're not going to respond well if the ground is still frozen or still cold.
I was impressed by the heat of the Hungarian.
The Hungarian wax pepper is going to make you cry. It's going to put tears are coming out of your eyes.
So you're
going straight to some
peppers,
base.
and you gave me 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
So I diced them, and I made pasta. I did it in a olive oil.
Arrabbiata, little arrabbiata sauce.
No red, just white, garlic, like an audio, and it was fabulous.
Okay.
Absolutely, the taste of the Hungarian wax pepper, olive oil, garlic. It was so good.
Were you sweating?
Okay.
No.
All right.
No, the heat was okay.
Is that did you make like a pepperoncino with the pepper?
Yes.
Like oil and pepper, so it's a spicy pepperoncino.
Yep.
that
And
you
I
put
over a bed of spaghetti.
Yeah, no, I understand. I got you.
Yeah, it was.
No, that's it.
It was
Like, I want to make mom.
Sometimes I'll do a tomato. I'll put tomato paste in there, right?
Yeah.
Or a fresh, tomato. It's tremendous.
No,
Like
I'll
that
be
pepper-
planting a pepper. I'll be planting a pepper garden outside sometime in May, early May.
All right. Well, you know what we'll do? One night I'll come over. We'll do the peppers. We'll do with the
All right.
pasta.
That's
You'll
good.
know
No,
that.
these things literally bloom into like November.
Yeah. We'll do a whole thing. Great heat. And here's the thing about that pepper. The pepper is so good for you. It kills all the bad stuff in your. We talk about the cells and awaken the cell, cleans out the cells.
Mm-hmm.
The pepper does that.
Yeah. Gets in
Yeah.
there, spruces things up, cleans it out.
Yeah. Your mitochondria. I read a whole thing about the hot pepper and the mitochondria.
Right. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of peppers.
Yeah. You like the heat, Baldy? You eat hot, spicy foods?
Yeah, I love it. I put
Good for you.
I put a hot sauce on everything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good for you. Get to know it.
Doesn't feel, it's a little rough the next day, no?
Nah, I mean, whatever.
No, I don't have any.
Yeah.
I have a garbage disposal, like concrete stomach. But nothing bothers my stomach.
Yeah, it's good for you.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And Baldies, and we'll do it all out of the garden.
We'll go foraging.
We'll take the tomatoes out of the garden. We'll use the peppers out of the garden. I don't know if you do the asparagus, but pasta with the asparagus is really good
Well,
too.
I grow different things every year. So I'm going to grow these cucumbers that climb like a sunflower stalk this year.
That's nice.
They're going to grow those.
I'm a fan of
I got, an assortment of climbing roses for sure. And then I have, it's Easter, next Sunday. So I have these Easter lilies that should be popping pretty soon.
Yeah.
And they just give a fragrance, to the entire, the greenhouse.
Are you going to Long Island for Easter? What are you doing?
Well, I'll be here. I'll be here in Florida. I'm in Florida right now, but I'm flying to LA on Monday.
Okay.
So I'll go to the service and do whatever down here. But honestly, I just want to get to LA and get into this draft thing here.
No, it's the best. That's awesome. All right, my brother, we'll do it later this week. As always, be safe down there. Enjoy the grind.
Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later this week.
All right, there he is, the great Baldy.
Baldy.
Those peppers are awesome.
I like the idea of you going foraging at Baldy's yard and stuff.
Yeah, in fact,
putting together a meal.
We'll do the video. In fact, you can record it.
Yeah.
And we'll do the Baldy meal from his
garden.
greenhouse.
Yeah.
No, the pepper, I got to tell you, so I'm the only one in my house that likes it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to make it for myself. And I love the heat. I'm a big believer in the heat.
So you saute the pepper and the oil, pepper and the garlic in the oil, and then just throw that on the pasta? What pasta?
I do spaghetti, a long pasta.
Okay.
Yeah. And you'll do, I like that great semolina pasta.
Are you out on angel hair?
Yes. My dad likes the angel
I like
hair.
angel hair.
Yeah, my father likes it. It's not enough sturdiness.
Okay.
I like the semolina spaghetti.
Yeah.
Thicker spaghetti holds it,
like
especially if you do the aioli.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's that?
That's with the garlic and oil and the heat.
I like a more delicate pasta.
Do you?
I like the angel hair.
It gets too soft quick.
Yeah, I guess.
I like it. I like the al dente pasta.
Yeah.
All right. Give me.
Can we do, just in case anyone didn't see us, Emmett Smith is on the radio. Can I just read this
So
quote?
I want to do a whole show around this.
Yeah?
Yes.
Should I save it?
Yes.
I mean, people are probably going to hear it somewhere else.
All right.
today.
Well, all right. Let's put it out, but I want to do a whole show on this.
All right. Let me find this quote.
This is the crown jewel for us as Eagle fans and the flock.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate.
Gets no better. So he was on a radio show in Dallas, and he says, "I'm sick of it. We have allowed others to nitpick at the star and make fun of the star. Now, all of a sudden, over the last 20 years, the Eagles win 2 Super Bowls, and they think they're the best thing on the planet. And everywhere I go, I hear, 'Go Birds.' I'm sick of hearing 'Go Birds.' I'm always asking, where are you going? You still got a long way to go to catch us."
Dude, that is the greatest. That Emmett Smith is tired of hearing "Go Birds."
Yes, I love it.
That is the greatest, dude. That's the greatest.
We've arrived.
Yes.
Yes.
They're dead.
Yes.
And he's looking around going, I got nothing. The Eagles are Emmett's daddy.
And the fact that this is out there now, everywhere he goes.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Yo, Emmett, go Birds. Like, it's the greatest.
It's going to be so good.
I love it.
All right. Back in the day.
Back in the day.
We're going back, 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 back. We're going back, 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 back. We're going back, 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 back. Back in the day with Rite Aid. Yeah!
I love this one. I think you're going to love it. Should be a little time warp for you of one of the coolest games we ever encountered.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
1980, I believe, is
1980? What sport?
Football.
Wow. 1980 football?
Yep.
Football games like these were for only one player. End run. but something was missing.
Can I play? Wait your turn.
Then along came head-to-head electronic football by Coleco.
Now we can play at the same time. I'm offense. I'm defense.
With head-to-head, you're really in the game. A power sweep. He fights through for the tackle. You pass. He blitzes. Intercepts.
This is real competition.
Why settle for a one-player game when you can have it all? Play alone, against the computer, or for real competition. Play
Head-to-head.
Why settle for less?
I had it.
I had it too. We
I
went
had
nuts
it.
when we could play that together.
So, do you remember when it was this single player game, the Mattel?
Yeah.
Right? What you would do is you would go draw the dots to the one end of the field, then go up and then just
Pound it.
and you would go for a touchdown.
Yes. Yeah.
And here's the thing, like you mastered it where you could turn it over and score over 100 points.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. That was the rudimentary precursor.
That's what we were playing.
We were gamers.
Yeah.
Right? We were the first generation of gamers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I just learned a term this weekend about gaming too. A sweaty gamer. Do you know what a sweaty gamer is?
What's that?
Sweaty gamer is someone who takes it too seriously and wants to win too much. So like every game they're sweating. And, someone benches it. They're like, I don't want to play with that dude. He's a sweaty gamer. I was like, what is a sweaty gamer?
Yeah.
Oh, it's an Uber rider I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I mean, weren't you a sweaty gamer?
No, I mean, I just like the fun. I don't take it too seriously.
Oh, yeah. We were. Yeah.
You were a sweater?
Oh, yeah.
Sweat hog?
Yeah. Yeah, we go at it. Vinny, we could be, we play this game, what was the NBA where you fight?
Oh, yeah, rival?
Yeah,
Arch
rivals.
whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we would go at it
That was a
hours.
great one.
Yeah.
You could like pull their shorts down, punch them.
Yeah. We do crazy. That was nuts.
Yeah.
The sweaty gamer.
Yeah.
So I saw the movie.
Which movie?
What you call it? My kids love it. But Anthony went, and then I took Massimo and his buddies.
Oh,
The one that's
Minecraft?
going nuts?
Minecraft.
Minecraft,
You
yeah.
saw it? Did you want to poke your eyes out?
Yeah, but it was not for me, right?
Were they throwing popcorn and stuff?
Yes.
It's been a madhouse.
Yeah, it was crazy. They were singing the
throwing
song,
stuff?
the chicken song, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that chicken's a
chicken,
big deal.
chicken jockey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were throwing popcorn.
Oh,
They were
my.
freaking out. It was nuts.
Yeah,
It's like
apparently-
mayhem.
Apparently, they had to record something like to post before the video or the movie, being like, "Hey, let's not disrespect the theater or something." I don't know
Yeah,
if
they
it played
went
everywhere,
nuts.
but
It was crazy.
Crazy.
Were your boys throwing stuff?
Nah, I don't know about Anthony, but because I didn't go with him.
Okay.
I took Massimo and his buddies. They were cool,
All right.
but they were active. People were yelling stuff out.
Really?
Yeah, the kids. It was
It's like an
anarchy.
interactive film?
Yeah. It was like anarchy.
Wow.
Kids running around. A couple kids got thrown out.
Really?
Yeah,
So they have ushers in
Saturday
there.
night.
Ushers in there watching what's going on.
Couple they had to come in and throw them out.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it was
wild.
nuts. It was nuts. Yeah,
From Minecraft.
yeah. Like I actually, for half a second, thought I could time the movie. They could see that, and I could go to the drop.
Oh yeah.
But I don't want to
Didn't
leave
work out.
him be.
In the
Too
mayhem.
nuts. Yeah, and Massimo and his buddies.
Yeah.
I had to be there. So I just kind of sat.
Muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to be there.
That's wild, man. Over that movie.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Everybody have a great day. Lizardo, big outing tonight. I like your Phillies pick.
Easy win tonight.
Yeah, Phil's win. Lizardo, 8 Ks tonight.
I like it. Yeah, that feels good.
All right?
Mhm.
I like it. Great job, Tyler.
Tyler.
The bot produced and did a great job. Everybody have a great day. We love you. We'll see you in the morning.
We all silly like the mayor.